I am asking you for 1 minute, my child. Just 1 minute. Before you move on. Before you tell yourself you will come back later. Before another distraction pulls your attention away, stop and listen. This moment carries more weight than you realize. I did not bring you here so you could skim a few words and keep scrolling. I brought you here because there is something your heart needs to hear right now, and if you rush past it, you may continue carrying a burden I never intended for you to carry alone. You have been moving so quickly for so long that you barely notice how tired you have become. You have learned how to keep going even when your spirit feels drained. You have learned how to answer people when inside you are still searching for answers yourself. There are thoughts you do not share, worries you keep hidden, questions you ask in silence when nobody else is around. I have heard every one of them. I have seen every restless night, every private disappointment, every moment when you wondered if I was still paying attention to your life. That is why I am speaking now. Do not dismiss this as another message among thousands. There is a reason your eyes landed here. There is a reason you paused. There is a reason something inside you felt pulled to stay for just a little longer. I know how easy it would be for you to leave. I know how many voices compete for your attention every day. Yet here you are. And before you decide what this moment means, I want you to consider something. What if the very thing you have been asking me for is hidden inside the minute you almost skipped? You have asked for clarity. You have asked for peace. You have asked for direction when the road ahead seemed uncertain. Sometimes you expected the answer to arrive in a dramatic way, yet I often come quietly, speaking directly to the heart while the world rushes by without noticing. That is why I am asking you to remain. Stay long enough to hear what your fear keeps interrupting. Stay long enough to recognize what your distractions have been covering. Stay long enough to discover that I have been closer than you thought. If you leave now, this may feel like just another passing moment. But if you stay, you may begin to understand why I arranged this interruption in your day. You may finally see what I have been trying to show you beneath the noise, beneath the pressure, beneath the endless cycle of postponing what your soul desperately needs. So take a breath. Set aside the urge to move on. Open your heart and give me this 1 minute completely, because what I am about to tell you next is the reason I brought you here in the first place. My child, give me this 1 minute, because I need you to understand something before anything else reaches your heart. You are not here by accident. You did not pause on this message because of chance, and you did not stop because your finger happened to hesitate for a second. I brought you here. I know that may sound simple at first, but I need you to let that truth sink deeper than the surface. Out of all the things you could have looked at, out of all the voices competing for your attention, out of all the noise that fills your day and keeps your mind moving from one thing to the next, you are here now because I wanted you here. I saw the exact moment your heart would be tired enough to listen. I saw the exact second when your soul would need something more than distraction. And I stepped into that moment for you. This is not a random pause in your day. This is a holy interruption, and I am the one behind it. You may have thought you were just scrolling. You may have thought you were passing time, looking for comfort, avoiding your thoughts, or simply trying to make it through another ordinary moment. But I know what was underneath that. I know what you have been carrying beneath the surface. I know how much you have been trying to stay composed while your heart has been asking quiet questions you have not even been able to fully put into words. I know how often you have kept moving so you would not have to sit still long enough to feel what is really happening inside you. And because I know you so deeply, I chose not to wait for a perfect time. I met you right here, in the middle of your scrolling, in the middle of your noise, in the middle of your tiredness, because I love you too much to let another day pass without reaching for you. This moment matters more than you realize right now, not because it is dramatic, but because it is personal. I am speaking to you, not to a crowd, not to a distant audience, but to you. I wanted your attention for 1 minute because I have something your heart has been needing, even if your mind has not known how to ask for it. Stay here with me. Do not rush past this. If you can give me 1 honest minute, I can begin to touch the place in you that has been waiting far longer than you know. My child, do not rush past this moment. Stop right here and stay with me, because this 1 minute I am asking from you is not small in my eyes. You measure time by schedules, distractions, and the pressure of everything waiting for you, but I see something deeper. I see how quickly your days are being swallowed by noise. I see how often your heart gets pushed aside while your mind keeps running, solving, reacting, surviving. That is why I am asking you now, not later, not when life feels calmer, not when you finally feel strong enough. Stay with me now. Give me this 1 minute as it is, with your tired thoughts, your guarded heart, your unanswered questions, and your restless spirit. Do not try to clean yourself up first. Do not try to become more spiritual before you listen. Just stop. Breathe slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Put down the pressure you have been carrying, even if only for this moment, and let yourself be here with me. I want you to understand why I am speaking with urgency. I am not trying to frighten you. I am trying to reach you before another wave of distraction pulls you away from what your soul has been craving. You have gotten used to moving so fast that stillness can feel uncomfortable, and you have learned how to fill every empty space before your own heart has a chance to speak. But this minute is not empty. This minute is an opening. It is like a door cracked open in a dark room, and if you stay, light will begin to enter places in you that have been dim for too long. That is why I am asking you plainly. Do not scroll, do not drift, do not treat this like another passing moment. Let this minute become sacred by the way you receive it. Sit with me. Listen to my voice. Let my words settle where your worry has been living. Let my presence reach the place where your thoughts have been racing in circles. You do not need a long prayer right now. You do not need a perfect response. Just give me your attention with honesty. Is enough for me to begin. Stay here and let me show you that 1 surrendered minute with me can do more for your soul than hours spent running from what hurts. I am here, and I am asking for your full heart, not forever in this second, but truly for this 1 minute. Give it to me. My child, now that you have stayed, let me tell you why I wanted this moment with you so badly. I see what you have been carrying, and I see far more than what anyone else notices. I see the version of you that smiles when people are looking, and the version of you that goes quiet when you are finally alone. I see the thoughts you push down before they rise too close to the surface. I see how tired you have become from acting like you are fine when inside you feel stretched thin. You may have become very skilled at surviving, but I know survival is not the same as peace. You have been holding together things that feel like they are slipping through your hands, and you have been doing it so long that even you have forgotten how heavy it has become. So listen to me carefully and let these words reach you. You do not need to keep pretending with me. Come closer. Open your heart. Let me into the exact place you have been trying to hide, because I am not turning away from the part of you that feels fragile. You may think your struggle is too tangled to explain, or too ordinary to matter. But I know every layer of it. I know the mental noise that follows you into the night. I know the disappointment you keep replaying. I know the ache that comes from prayers that seem unanswered, from people who misunderstood you, from expectations that wore you down, and from the quiet fear that maybe you are carrying more than you can sustain. That is exactly why I called you here. I did not bring you into this moment to expose your weakness. I brought you here so I could speak into it with tenderness and authority. So stop hiding behind your strength. Release the need to perform. Let your breathing slow down, and let your heart soften while I speak life into the places that have gone numb. Picture your soul like a house with one room you have kept locked because it hurts too much to open. I am standing at that door now, not to force it, but to ask you to let me in. Invite me there, and me what you have been carrying. Trust me with the part of you that feels tired, ashamed, or overwhelmed. I know how to touch what hurts without breaking you further. I know how to bring peace into the very place where you have been silently unraveling. Stay with me, because now that you have let me begin, I want to go deeper, and I want to heal what you have been trying to handle alone. My child, now that I have your attention and now that you have allowed me to speak into what you have been carrying, I need you to stop bracing yourself as if I came here to expose you. I did not interrupt your day to shame you. I did not call you into this moment so I could replay every mistake you already punish yourself for. I know how quickly your heart can tighten when you sense something spiritual becoming serious. I know how often you expect correction before comfort, distance before tenderness, or silence where you needed mercy. But listen to me and let this settle inside you. I am not here to press your face into your failures. I am here to lift your face toward my love. Release that defensive posture you have learned from disappointment. Set down the fear that I am about to reject you. Open your hands. Take a slow breath. Stay soft with me, because if you keep flinching every time I draw near, you will miss the healing I am trying to place gently into your life. You have spent enough time thinking I am angry in the way people have been angry with you. You have measured my heart through human wounds, and that has made you hesitate whenever I come close. But I am not like those who withdrew when you were messy, misunderstood, or struggling. I know every hidden corner of your life already, and I still chose this moment to speak to you personally. That should tell you something. If I wanted distance, I would not be calling you nearer. If I wanted to condemn you, I would not be asking you to stay. Picture yourself standing in a storm, soaked, exhausted, and expecting another door to close in your face, only to find my hand opening it before you'd even knock. That is what this moment is. It is not a courtroom. It is a doorway. Step through it. Let me teach your heart the difference between conviction that restores and shame that suffocates. I will tell you the truth. Yes, but I will tell it like a father who intends to heal what truth reveals. So do not run. Do not shrink. Do not assume that because you feel exposed, you are in danger. You are not. You are being invited into safety. Come closer now. Let me remove the weight of self-judgment you have been wearing like armor. Let me show you what it feels like to be fully known and still deeply wanted. Stay with me in this, because the moment you stop fearing my nearness is the moment your heart begins to breathe differently. My child, now that you have felt my nearness without shame, do not let this moment remain only yours. Let it become a river that reaches others who are still hiding. There are hearts just like yours, bracing, flinching, expecting rejection, and I am calling you to help me reach them. When you give, you are not losing. You are sowing seed into soil that will awaken souls, and I have said, what you sow in secret, I will multiply in the open. This is your moment to turn tenderness into action, to let love move through your hands. If your heart is saying, I want others to feel this too, that is my voice within you. Support this work through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and become part of the harvest I am gathering. I will breathe on what you release, and it will return to you as provision, peace, and unseen protection. Do not hesitate. Act now, and let your giving carry my love further than your voice alone ever could. My child, I need to speak plainly with you now, because this is where so many precious moments are lost. Stop telling yourself later. Stop promising yourself that you will come back to me when life settles down, when your emotions are less tangled, when your mind is clearer, or when you feel more ready to listen. You have done that before, and you already know what it leads to. Another day passes. Another burden piles on top of the last one. Another quiet invitation from me gets buried under urgency that never truly ends. I am not saying this to pressure you. I am saying it because I love you enough to tell you the truth. Some moments are windows, and if you keep delaying the response your soul needs, you keep postponing the peace I am offering you right now. So do not push this aside. Do not make an agreement with delay again. Stay here. Answer me while your heart is open. Let this be the moment you stop negotiating with your own hesitation. You have learned how to live in almost praying, almost surrendering, almost forgiving, almost resting, almost trusting. That almost has drained you more than you realize. It is like standing at the edge of a river in the middle of a dry season, staring at the water, talking about how thirsty you are, and still refusing to kneel down and drink. That is why I am asking you directly, come closer now. Receive now. Respond now. Put your hand over your heart if you need to. Close your eyes for a second if that helps you hear me more clearly. Whisper to me, I am here. Say it quietly if you must, but say it. Make this minute real. Let your body agree with your spirit that this is not just another passing message. You do not need to solve everything today, but you do need to stop postponing the very first step. I can work with your honesty. I can work with your weakness. I can work with your trembling yes. What becomes harder to work with is a heart that keeps numbing itself with delay. So I am inviting you and I am commanding you in love. Do not move past this. Choose presence over postponement. Choose surrender over stalling. Choose my voice over the old habit of saying, I'll come back later. If you stay and answer me now, even in a small way, you will feel something begin to shift inside you. That shift matters. It is not dramatic noise. It is the quiet beginning of freedom. Let it begin here. My child, now that you have stopped delaying, and now that your heart is finally leaning toward me, I need you to understand what has been happening around you for longer than you realize. You have not always been resisting me on purpose. Many times, you have simply been overwhelmed. The noise around you has grown so constant that you have started treating inner exhaustion like it is normal. You wake up already carrying pressure. You move through your day reacting to messages, expectations, responsibilities, and worries that pull at your mind from every direction. By the time the day slows down, you are so mentally crowded that you do not even know what you feel anymore. That is why I am asking you right now, notice what has been stealing your attention. Be honest with yourself. Name the noise. Call it what it is. Some of it is fear. Some of it is distraction. Some of it is habit. Some of it is pain you have learned to cover with motion. Do not run from that truth. Face it with me. Let me show you that your constant activity has not been healing you. It has only been keeping you from hearing the deeper cry inside you. I want you to picture your heart like a quiet room that once had a window open to fresh air, but over time it became filled with clutter, sound, and shadows until you forgot what peace even felt like. That is where many of your choices have been born lately, not from rest, not from clarity, but from emotional static. You have been trying to think your way out of what needs my presence more than your effort. So listen closely and obey this simple invitation. Pause. Silence what you can. Put down what does not need your hands for this moment. Stop feeding the noise that keeps your soul unsettled. If you need to, close your eyes and breathe as if you are stepping out of a crowded street and into a quiet place where only my voice can reach you. I am not asking you to fix your whole life in 1 minute. I am asking you to stop letting chaos speak louder than I do. Let my voice become the one you follow, not the one you postpone. Let my peace become familiar again. Let your mind slow down enough for your spirit to catch up. You do not need more stimulation. You need stillness. You do not need another distraction. You need direction. Stay here with me and let me clear the fog that has been sitting over your heart. If you let me, I will quiet what has been shouting inside you, and I will help you hear what your soul has been trying to tell you all along. You need me closer than you have allowed yourself to admit. My child, once you begin to recognize the noise that has been surrounding you, another truth needs to settle into your heart before you go any further with me. I never left you. Even when you stopped listening closely, I stayed near. Even when you became distracted, numb, uncertain, or spiritually tired, I did not step back and wait in cold silence. I remained with you in ways you did not always notice. I was there in the moments you thought you were handling everything alone. I was there when you kept your face composed for everyone else and then sat quietly with thoughts you did not know how to carry. I was there when you almost gave up on expecting anything from me because disappointment had worn you down. I saw every moment, and I stayed. I need you to let that truth break through the lie that says distance from me means I stopped caring. That lie has made you hesitant. It has made you cautious with my love. It has made you think you need to work your way back before you can feel close again. But listen carefully and receive this. You do not need to earn your return. Just come back. Come back now. Come back honestly. Come back as you are. You may feel embarrassed by how far your heart drifted, or how long it has been since you truly let me in without holding something back. You may think you should have done better, prayed more, trusted sooner, or responded faster. But I am not standing here counting how long you wandered. I am standing here with my hand extended, asking you to stop measuring the distance and start receiving the welcome. Picture a child who has been lost in a crowded place, frightened, disoriented, and trying to act brave, only to suddenly hear a familiar voice calling their name. That is what this moment is. I am not scolding you for being afraid. I am guiding you back into my arms. So do not hesitate now. Take the step. Lean in. Speak to me. Tell me what you really feel, even if your words are messy. Tell me where you drifted. Tell me what hardened you. Tell me what made you stop expecting tenderness. I can hold all of it. Let this minute become more than an interruption. Let it become your return. Open your heart wider. Stop standing at the edge of my presence as if you are uncertain whether you belong here. You do belong here. You always did. You always will. Stay close now. Let me remind you what safety feels like. Let me restore the part of you that forgot how deeply loved you are. And as you stay, you will begin to notice something beautiful. I was never far. You only felt that way because pain made your vision narrow. And now let me widen it again. My child, now that you are beginning to remember that I never left you, I want you to notice something else that has quietly shaped the way you have been living. You have become so used to surviving that you have mistaken survival for strength. You have learned how to carry your responsibilities, manage your reactions, and keep moving even when your heart has been tired for a long time. You know how to answer people. You know how to get through the day. You know how to smile when needed, keep your voice steady, and keep the machine of your life running. But I want you to hear me clearly now. Just because you have been functioning does not mean you have been free. Just because you have kept going does not mean you have been at peace. There is a difference between a heart that is strong and a heart that is strained, and many days you have been calling strain by the name of strength. So stop for a moment and be honest with me. Let the mask come down. Release the pressure to look composed in front of me. You do not need to oppress me with endurance. You do not need to prove that you can hold it all together. Come close and let yourself be seen without the performance. I know why you learned to live this way. Life taught you to stay ready. Disappointment taught you to guard your softness. Pain taught you to tighten your grip. Somewhere along the way, you started believing that if you relaxed, everything would fall apart. So you became your own emergency response system. You stayed alert. You stayed tense. You stayed useful. But I did not create you to live like a tightly wound string, stretched so thin that even one more burden feels like it could snap you. I created you for trust, not constant tension. Picture your soul like a traveler carrying a bag that grew heavier mile after mile until the straps cut into your shoulders. Yet you kept walking because you forgot you were allowed to set it down. I am telling you now, set it down. Put it here. Lay it at my feet. Stop carrying what my love is strong enough to hold. Sit with me for this minute and let rest become an act of faith instead of something you postpone until you break. Unclench your jaw. Loosen your chest. Breathe deeper. Tell me what you are tired of carrying. Tell me where you feel worn thin. I am not disappointed in your weakness. I am inviting you into relief. Let me father the part of you that has been forced into self-protection for too long. Let me teach your nervous heart that my presence is not another demand. It is a place to rest. Stay with me here, because the moment you stop performing strength is the moment real healing can finally begin. My child, as you lay down the weight you were never meant to carry, understand this: rest is not the end. It is the beginning of overflow. What I pour into you in this moment is meant to reach beyond you, like oil that keeps flowing until every empty vessel is filled. There are weary souls scrolling in silence, surviving as you once did, and I am inviting you to help me bring them into rest. I have spoken, give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not pressure. It is invitation, a divine exchange where your obedience becomes someone else's breakthrough. If you feel the stirring to help this message reach further, that is me calling you into partnership. So through super thanks, step into membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description. I will honor your seed with renewal, strength, and favor that meets you in unexpected places. Move now, release, and watch how I carry both you and others into rest. My child, now that you have begun to loosen your grip, and now that you are no longer trying so hard to look strong in front of me, I need you to take one more step. Stop waiting for the perfect words. Stop telling yourself that you will speak to me when you know exactly what to say, when your emotions are more organized, or when your heart feels less messy. The day rarely comes the way you imagine it. If you keep waiting until your prayer sounds polished, you will keep standing outside the very closeness you need most. I do not need a rehearsed speech from you. I do not need the right tone, the right language, or some carefully arranged spiritual moment before I can meet you. I want your honesty. I want your real voice. I want the trembling version of your yes, not the perfected version you think I will prefer. So do not stay silent now. Speak, even if it is quiet, even if it is simple, even if all you can say is I need you, or I am tired, or please help me. That is enough. Say something real to me. Let this minute become a conversation, not just a message passing in front of your eyes. You may not realize how much power there is in a small opening when it is sincere. A cracked door is still a door opening. A whisper is still a voice reaching out. A hand lifting toward me, even weakly, is still movement toward life. That is why I am asking you directly, do not keep me at the edge of your thoughts. Invite me in. If you need help, place your hand over your chest and speak softly to me now. Tell me what hurts. Tell me what you fear. Tell me what you have been too embarrassed to say out loud. I already know it, but I want you to release it from the prison of silence. Imagine a room inside you that has been locked for so long that the air has grown stale and heavy. The moment you open that door, fresh air enters before anything else changes. That is what honest prayer does. It lets my presence into spaces that have been closed off by shame, fatigue, and overthinking. So stop editing yourself. Stop filtering your heart. Come to me plain, open, and real. I am not measuring your prayer. I'm receiving you. Let your words be small if they need to be, but let them be true. Stay here. Speak now. Let me hear the sound of your trust, even if it arrives as a whisper. That whisper matters more than you know, because once your heart starts speaking honestly, it becomes much harder for fear to keep ruling in silence. My child, now that you have opened your mouth and allowed your real heart to speak, I want you to understand something that can change the way you receive this entire moment. You may be looking at your life and thinking that 1 minute cannot possibly touch everything that feels heavy right now. You may be staring at problems that look too large, too layered, too deeply rooted for a single moment with me to matter. But I am not asking you to believe that every circumstance around you will instantly disappear. I am asking you to believe something quieter and, in many ways, more powerful. I can begin changing what is happening inside you before anything outside you moves. That matters more than you realize. When fear has been steering your thoughts, 1 minute with me can loosen its grip. When your chest has felt tight with pressure, one surrendered moment can make room for peace to enter. When your mind has been spinning in circles, one honest pause with me can interrupt the pattern and shift the direction of your entire day. So stop measuring this moment by how quickly your situation changes. Measure it by how deeply your heart begins to soften in my presence. I want you to picture a stormy sea. The waves are loud, the wind is sharp, and everything looks unstable. Most people think the miracle begins when the sea becomes calm, but sometimes the first miracle is that the one inside the boat stops panicking long enough to hear my voice. That is what I am doing with you right now. I am not ignoring the storm around you. I am stepping into the boat with you. I am asking you to sit down inside this moment and let me steady what has been shaking within you. So obey this invitation. Slow down. Breathe in deeply and let that breath be an act of trust. Stay right here. Stop scanning ahead. Stop trying to predict every outcome. Let me meet you in the now. Let me place my peace in the middle of your unrest. If your thoughts start racing again, bring them back. If your emotions flare, do not run. Listen. Receive. Let this minute become the place where your inner world begins to turn toward me instead of spiraling away from me. You do not need to force transformation. You do not need to manufacture calm. You only need to remain with me long enough to let my presence do what your striving never could. This is how real change often begins, not with noise, not with spectacle, but with a quiet shift inside your soul that changes how you stand, how you think, how you breathe, and how you move into the next hour. Let that shift begin now. Do not resist it. Welcome it. My child, if you are still hesitating even now, If part of you wants to stay close but another part keeps pulling back, I want you to look honestly at what may still be standing between us. For many of you, it is not doubt alone. It is shame. It is that quiet, heavy voice that keeps telling you that you have ignored me too long, failed too often, drifted too far, or made too many choices that you cannot undo. That voice has tried to become your interpreter. It speaks before you pray. It speaks when you try to come near. It whispers that you should hide until you are better, cleaner, stronger, more disciplined, more worthy. But I need you to hear me very clearly right now. Do not let shame speak for you anymore. Bring it to me. Name it. Hand it over. Do not keep letting an old wound, an old regret, or an old version of yourself stand in the doorway and decide whether you are allowed to come close. You are already invited. You are already being called. You are already wanted here. Shame is like a dark veil over a window. It convinces you there is no light outside because it keeps your vision covered from the inside. That is why I am asking you now, very personally and very directly, to remove it with me. Tell me what you are ashamed of. Speak it softly if you need to. Whisper it if your voice shakes. But do not keep carrying it in silence as if silence makes it smaller. It does not. Silence gives it space to grow. Bring it into my presence, because what is brought into my light can finally lose its power to rule you. I am not startled by your past. I am not recoiling from your weakness. I am not disappointed that you still have scars, patterns, or places in you that need healing. I already knew all of it when I called you here. So stop standing at the threshold as if I am waiting to reject you. Step forward. Open the door wider. Let me touch the place in you that has been hiding behind guilt. Let me remind you that conviction leads you toward me, but shame tries to drive you away from me. Learn the difference now. Reject the voice that keeps telling you to retreat. Accept my voice instead. Come near. Stay close. Let me lift what had been sitting on your chest for far too long. If you trust me with your shame, you will discover something beautiful. The very thing that made you want to hide can become the place where my mercy feels most real. Let that happen. Do not pull back now. My child, now that you have begun to loosen the grip of shame, I want you to see me correctly, because the way you picture me changes the way you respond to me. Too often, you imagine me standing at a distance, watching you with disappointment, waiting for you to prove that you are serious enough, disciplined enough, or spiritual enough before I move closer. That image has made you hesitate. It has made you guarded. It has made you expect pressure when I am actually offering peace. So let me replace that image now. I am not standing over you with anger. I am standing beside you with my hand open. I am near, not cold. I am present, not withdrawn. I am inviting, not accusing. If you can receive that picture, something inside you will begin to soften in a way that striving never produced. So pause for a moment and picture this clearly. You are not standing in front of a locked gate trying to convince me to let you in. You are standing in the middle of a hard moment, and I am already beside you, close enough to steady you if you will only stop resisting my nearness. This matters because many of your reactions have been shaped by fear rather than relationship. You have tried to manage your own healing because you assumed my closeness would come with conditions. You have kept parts of yourself hidden because you thought exposure would lead to rejection. But I want you to respond differently now. Reach for me. Do not wait until you feel more worthy. Do not wait until your emotions are less tangled. Lift your heart toward me as it is. If you need a physical act, extend your hand right where you are, even if no one else sees it. Let your body agree with your spirit that you are receiving what I am offering. This is not superstition. This is surrender made visible. Imagine a child standing at the edge of deep water, uncertain, tense, afraid of slipping, until a loving father steps into the water first, holds out his hand, and says, "Come, I've got you." That is what I am doing with you right now. I am not asking you to cross the whole distance alone. I am asking you to trust my hand enough to take the next step. So do not keep folding your arms around your own fear. Across them. Open your heart. Receive my nearness. Let my presence become more real to you than the old stories that taught you to be afraid. I am here. I have been here. And if you will reach for me now, even in a small, trembling way, you will feel something change, not because you earned it, but because my love has always moved toward you faster than your fear has moved away. My child, as you reach for my hand, know this, my hand is also reaching through you to others who are still standing in fear. This moment is not only about your step toward me, but about the countless others waiting for someone to help light their way. When you give, you become a bridge, a living extension of my invitation, and I have declared, you will be a light in the darkness, and through you many will find their way. Do not underestimate what I can do with what you place in my hands. Even a small seed becomes a forest when I breathe on it. If your heart is open right now, do not close it. Respond by supporting this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. I will cover what you release with my abundance and guide your steps with my peace. This is your moment. Take my hand and act now. My child, once you begin to understand that my hand is open and my presence is near, there is another burden I want to lift from you, because it has been quietly distorting the way you think about coming close to me. This moment is not about religion. It is not about you trying to perform holiness in order to deserve intimacy. It is not about saying the right things, checking the right boxes, or creating a polished spiritual image that looks convincing from the outside. I am not asking you for a ritual. I'm asking you for relationship. I'm asking for you. I want your real attention, your real heart, your real trust, and your real willingness to walk with me in the middle of ordinary life. That means you can stop trying to turn this moment into something artificial. You do not need to manufacture emotion. You do not need to force tears. You do not need to sound impressive. Just stay with me. Listen. Respond. Let me be close to you in a way that feels honest, grounded, and alive. If you keep treating me like a distant system to satisfy, you will miss the joy of knowing me as your father. You know what performance feels like because you have lived under it in so many areas of life. You have learned how to meet expectations, how to keep appearances, how to say what is acceptable while hiding what is real. The habit can slip into your spiritual life without you even noticing. But relationship does not grow in performance. Relationship grows in presence. Picture two paths in front of you. One is bright on the outside, polished, impressive, and full of motion, but underneath it is exhausting because it keeps asking you to prove yourself. The other path is quieter. It is simpler. It is not built on appearance. It is built on closeness. That second path is where I am standing, asking you to walk with me. So choose it. Choose the slower, deeper way. Choose conversation over performance. Choose honesty over image. Choose companionship over control. Right now, I want you to say in your heart, I want you, not just relief. I want to know you, not just escape my pain. Let that become your posture. Let that become your invitation. I care about your healing, Yes, but I care even more that you learn how to live with me, hear me, trust me, and return to me without hesitation. That is what this minute is really about. It is not a religious interruption. It is the beginning of restored closeness. So stop trying to impress me. Start walking with me. Let this be the moment where you stop reaching for a spiritual experience and start receiving a Father who wants to stay with you long after this minute ends. My child, now that you are beginning to understand that this is about walking with me and not performing for me, I want you to receive this next truth with a calm and open heart. I am not asking you to expect a loud spectacle in this 1 minute. I am not asking you to force yourself into believing that every burden around you will vanish before the clock moves forward. What I am asking you to believe is something more intimate and, for many of you, more life-giving. I can begin changing what is happening inside you before the world around you catches up. I can touch the place where fear has been living. I can settle the part of you that has been bracing for bad news. I can interrupt the pressure that has been building in your chest. I can soften the thoughts that have been spinning so fast you no longer know how to slow them down. So stop looking only at your circumstances and start noticing your inner world. Pay attention to what is shifting in you right now. Let your breathing become slower. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart stop preparing for disaster for just a moment, and let me bring peace where panic has been trying to rule. I want you to imagine your soul like a room during a storm. The windows are rattling, the wind is loud, and everything feels unsettled. Most people think peace begins when the weather outside becomes calm. But often the first mercy is that the lamp inside the room stops flickering because I have placed my hand over the flame. That is what I want to do for you. I want to steady the light within you. I want to quiet the place inside you that has been jumping at every sound, every memory, every possibility, every fear. So stay here. Do not rush ahead. Do not keep scanning the horizon for instant answers. Sit with me in this moment and let me work inward first. Place your hand over your heart again if you need to. Say softly, Lord, steady me. Invite me into your inner storm. Let me anchor you before I redirect you. Let me strengthen your center before I change your surroundings. This is not a lesser miracle. This is the beginning of real transformation. When your inner world begins to heal, your choices begin to change. Your reactions begin to soften. Your discernment becomes clearer. Your next step becomes easier to see. So do not underestimate what I can do in 1 surrendered minute. If you stay with me, I can begin restoring the place in you that life has been draining for far too long. Let that be enough for now. Let my peace arrive before your answers do. Trust me with that order, because it is often how I rescue you most deeply. My child, after everything I have shown you in these moments together, I need to bring you back to something very simple and very serious. Do not say later again. Do not push this moment into some imagined future where you think you will finally be more ready, more rested, more disciplined, more emotionally stable, or more spiritually prepared. That future version of you has become an excuse that keeps your present heart hungry. You have already spent enough time delaying what you desperately need. You have postponed peace because you were busy. You have postponed healing because it felt uncomfortable to face what hurt. You have postponed surrender because you thought control was safer. You have postponed returning to me because you assumed there would always be a more convenient moment. But hear me now with tenderness and with truth. This is the moment I am giving you. Not the one you imagine. Not the one you keep promising yourself. This one. Right here. Right now. Do not let it slip past you because it does not look dramatic enough. Some of the holiest moments in your life arrive quietly, wrapped in ordinary time, and if you are not careful, you will scroll past what heaven meant for your healing. I want you to see what later has done to you. It has made you live at the edge of change without stepping into it. It has kept you circling the doorway of freedom while convincing you that standing near it is the same as entering. It has let you talk about rest while continuing to live exhausted. It has let you hope for peace while still feeding the patterns that rob you of it. That is why I am speaking more directly now. Stop negotiating with delay. Stop treating your soul like it can wait forever. Stop telling yourself you will pray later, forgive later, rest later, trust later, return later. Come now. Answer now. If you need a simple act, do it this second. Close your eyes. Exhale the tension. Whisper, I choose you now. Make it concrete. Make it real. Let your body and your spirit agree that you are no longer postponing the very thing your heart has been begging for in secret. I am not asking for a performance. I am asking for a decision. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to stop delaying the first yes. That yes matters. It breaks the old agreement with avoidance. It opens the door to healing. It tells fear it is no longer in charge. So choose me in this minute. Choose presence over postponement. Choose surrender over stalling. Choose the living moment over the fantasy of later. If you do, you will begin to feel what so many people miss. Peace does not always arrive after everything changes. Sometimes it arrives the moment you finally stop resisting the invitation that was already in front of you. My child, if you have stayed with me this long, then do not let this remain only in your thoughts. Do not let these words pass through your mind without allowing them to reach your body, your breath, and your will. I want you to respond with something real. I am not asking for something dramatic, but I am asking for something honest and visible to your own heart. Faith often begins in quiet ways, but it should still move. It should still lean. It should still answer. So stop reading passively for a moment and do what I am asking you now. Put the phone down for a second if you can. Sit still. Straighten your posture. Place your hand over your heart or lift your hand toward me, even if it feels simple, even if it feels awkward, even if no one else will ever know you did it. Let this minute become more than a feeling. Let it become a response. You have spent enough time thinking about change. Now step toward it. You do not need to understand everything to obey this invitation. Just move toward me in a small but sincere way and let your soul feel the difference between watching and participating. There is something powerful about a simple act that tells your inner world, I am no longer staying at a distance. You have lived through enough moments where your heart wanted to move, but your habits held you still. This time, do not let habit win. If your eyes are tired, close them. If your breathing is shallow, deepen it. If your thoughts are racing, slow them by focusing on my voice and not your fear. Then say something to me out loud or in a whisper. Say, Lord, I am here. Say, I am listening. Say, help me stop running. Let your words be short, but let them be yours. Imagine a person standing at the edge of dawn after a long night, not yet seeing the full sun, but noticing the first thin line of light beginning to break the horizon. That first light does not erase the whole night instantly, but it changes everything because it means darkness is no longer in control. That is what this moment can be for you. Your small response is that first light. It tells your fear that it no longer gets the final word. It tells your numbness that you are waking up. It tells your soul that you are no longer just observing my invitation. You are receiving it. So act now. Respond now. Make this minute tangible. Let your body, your breath, and your heart all agree together. I am no longer holding back. Stay with me in that posture, because sometimes the most powerful turning point begins with a quiet movement that only heaven sees and your own heart will never forget. My child, you have responded with something real, and heaven has seen it. But do not let your response stop here. Faith that moves in your heart must also move through your hands, becoming a force that reaches beyond this moment. There are others standing where you were, hesitating, watching, unsure, and your giving can become the spark that pulls them into the light. I have said, those who sow generously will reap generously, and this is your opportunity to sow into living souls. Let your action become a declaration that you are no longer just receiving, but participating in my work. Support this mission now through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and let your obedience carry my voice further. I will multiply what you release and return it to you as strength, clarity, and provision. Do not delay. Seal your response with action now. My child, now that you have responded, even in a small way, I want you to understand how deeply that matters to me. Do not dismiss what you just did because it felt simple. Do not tell yourself it was too small, too quiet, too ordinary to mean anything in the unseen places where I work. I want you to know this clearly. A small opening given honestly can change far more than a large performance done without surrender. You may think you need some great spiritual breakthrough before I can move, but what I often look for is willingness. I look for the moment when your heart stops resisting long enough to let me enter the place you have been guarding. That is why I am asking you now, very personally, to stop underestimating your honest yes. If all you have is a whisper, give me the whisper. If all you have is a shaky breath and a quiet decision to stay, give me that. If all you can offer is, I don't know how to do this, but I want you, then offer exactly that. I know how to work with what is real. I can build from truth. I can heal from honesty. I can move through the smallest opening if it is truly given. Think of a seed pressed into dark soil. From the outside, it looks buried, hidden, and almost insignificant. Yet inside that tiny place, life has already begun. That is how your yes works with me. It may look small to you, but it carries the beginning of something living. It carries movement. It carries trust. It carries permission for my peace to enter where fear once sat like a heavy stone. So do not pull back now because you expected fireworks and all you felt was stillness. Do not walk away because the moment felt gentle instead of dramatic. Today, remain open. Let the quiet work continue. Keep your heart turned toward me for a little longer. Say again, softly and sincerely, yes, Lord. Stay with me. Let that be your invitation. Let that be your agreement. You do not need to force emotion. You do not need to manufacture tears. You do not need to prove anything to me. Just remain available. Let your yes become a doorway. Let your trust become the handle that turns. Let my presence do what you cannot yet fully see. If you stay with me in this posture, you will begin to recognize something beautiful. Peace often arrives like dawn, not like lightning. It grows. It settles. It spreads. And by the time you realize how much has changed, the light has already filled more of your heart than the darkness ever did. So do not despise the smallness of this moment. Treasure it. Guard it. Stay with it. Your honest yes matters more than you know, and I am already beginning something inside you that will outlast this minute. My child, now that you have given me your honest yes, I want you to guard your heart from one more mistake that could cause you to miss what I am already doing. Do not wait for a spectacle before you decide this moment was real. Do not look for something loud, sudden, or dramatic as the only proof that I am near. Many of you have been trained by pain, noise, and constant stimulation to believe that only the intense things are meaningful. But I often come to you in ways that are gentle enough to protect your heart while still being powerful enough to change it. So do not leave this moment disappointed if the room did not shake, if your tears did not fall, or if your circumstances did not instantly rearrange themselves. Today, remain open. Pay attention to the quieter signs. Notice if your breathing has softened. Notice if the pressure in your chest has loosened even slightly. Notice if your thoughts are not racing the way they were a few minutes ago. Notice if something inside you feels less alone. Those things matter. That is not emptiness. That is my nearness settling in places that have been tense for too long. I want you to think of a cold room just before dawn, when the air still carries the chill of night, but the first warmth of morning has begun to slip in through the edges. At first, it does not announce itself with noise. It simply changes the atmosphere. That is how my peace often arrives. It does not always shout. It settles. It does not always rush. It fills it. It does not always appear as lightning. Sometimes it comes like light slowly taking back the room. So stay with me and let that happen. Do not try to judge the moment. Do not pull away because it feels subtle. Instead, lean in further. Whisper, Lord, help me recognize you. Ask me to sharpen your spiritual sight so you can notice the difference between emptiness and quiet healing. Sit still a little longer. Breathe again. Let your body stop scanning for crisis. Let your soul stop demanding proof on its own terms. Receive my presence as it comes. Let me love you in a way that is not performative, not dramatic, but deeply real. I am not trying to oppress you. I am trying to restore you. If you let me, this quiet shift will become a foundation. It will change how you move through the next hour, the next conversation, the next decision, the next fear that tries to rise. So do not walk away chasing a sign that looks bigger while missing the peace that is already touching you now. Stay here. Let my nearness become enough. In time, you will see that what began quietly was never small. It was simply holy. My child, you have come too far in this moment to close your heart now. You have listened. You have slowed down. You have allowed me to touch places you usually protect, and you have given me something honest. Do not pull away just because you are reaching the edge of what feels comfortable. Stay with me a little longer, because I want you to know this with certainty. If you remain open here, you will not leave this moment the same inside. I'm not promising you a performance. I am not offering you empty excitement. I am telling you something quieter, stronger, and more enduring. When you let me meet you honestly, something in you begins to rearrange. Your fear loses some of its authority. Your shame loses some of its grip. Your thoughts lose some of their chaos. Your heart becomes less defended. Your breathing becomes less burdened. Your spirit begins to remember what it feels like to be held instead of hurried. The change may not be visible to everyone around you right away, but you will know it. You will feel it. And once you recognize it, you will understand why I asked you not to skip this moment. I want you to picture a traveler who has carried a heavy coat through a long season of cold weather. After so much time, the weight of it begins to feel normal, almost like part of the body. Then the sun rises, the air changes, and little by little the traveler realizes that the coat no longer belongs on their shoulders. That is what is happening in you. The heaviness that felt normal is being exposed by my warmth. The old pressure, the old tension, the old need to brace, control, hide, and endure all things alone is beginning to lose its claim over you. So do not rush back into the old posture the moment this section ends. Protect what is happening. Stay soft. Keep your heart open. Let my peace continue to settle instead of snapping back into survival mode. If you need to, say it out loud now. I will not close my heart again. Let that be your agreement with me. Let that be your choice. Then ask me to help you carry this peace beyond this minute. Invite me into your next breath, your next step, your next thought. I do not want to be a brief interruption in your day. I want to remain with you as the one who changed the atmosphere within you. So stay close now. Do not shrink back. Do not talk yourself out of what you have felt. Receive it. Honor it. Let it continue. Because if you stay with me, even a little longer, you will discover that the deepest miracles are often the ones that happen in silence first, and by the time the world sees the difference in you, your heart has already been living in it for a while. My child, now that you have stayed with me through this moment, I want to leave you with something I need you to carry beyond these words. This minute was never just about stopping your scroll. It was never just about holding your attention for a few passing seconds. It was about reaching you at the exact point where your soul had grown tired of pretending it was fine. It was about interrupting the pattern that kept pulling you away from what you truly needed. It was about bringing you back to me before another day passed with your heart running on empty. And now that you have listened, now that you have opened, now that you have responded, I want you to understand what I am offering you. I am not offering you a temporary emotional moment that fades the instant you move on. I'm offering you the beginning of something deeper. I am offering you the start of return. I am offering you the first breath after caring too much for too long. I am offering you a new way to move through your day, with me near, with your heart softer, with your spirit less burdened, with your inner world no longer ruled by hurry, fear, shame, or delay. So do not treat this like a passing feeling. Receive it as a beginning. Hold it carefully. Let it matter. Now I want you to do something simple and real before you go. Stay still for just a few seconds longer. Do not rush away. Do not immediately hand your attention back to the noise that was consuming you before I reached you. Sit with me. Breathe slowly. Put your hand over your heart one last time and say this if you are willing. Lord, I give you this moment, and I want more of you than I wanted my distractions. Say it in your own way if you need to, but say something true. Seal this moment with your own voice. Picture a small flame being lit in a dark room. It may not fill the whole space at once, but it changes the room the instant it appears. That is what I have done in you if you have truly stayed with me. I have lit something. Protect it. Return to it. Walk with it. Let this be the minute you remember when your heart tries to close again. Let this be the moment you come back to when fear starts talking too loudly. Let this be the quiet turning point that you almost skipped but did not. I am with you now, and I will still be with you after this message ends. So come with me. Keep your heart open. Carry my peace into the next moment. And if this touched you, type in the comments, Lord, I stayed. That simple response will not just mark your agreement. It will make this moment real in your spirit. My child, you did not stay here by accident. This minute was appointed, and what has begun in you is sacred. But what I have lit in your heart is not meant to remain hidden. It is a flame designed to spread, to illuminate lives still sitting in darkness. When you choose to give, you are adding oil to this fire, ensuring that my word continues to reach those who almost skipped their moment, just as you almost did. I have promised, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and I will open the windows of heaven over you. This is not a transaction. It is alignment with my purpose, a step into something eternal. If this moment mattered to you, then act on it. Support through super thanks, join in membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description. I will guard what you entrust to me and multiply it beyond what you can see. Do not walk away unchanged. Move now, give now, and let this minute echo into eternity. If this message found you at the exact second your soul needed it, do not stay silent now. Seal this moment with your faith and write in the comments, "Lord, I won't skip you anymore." Let that be your declaration, your turning point, and your answer to the one who asked for just 1 minute of your heart. Do not let this become another message you felt and then forgot. Make it real, make it public, make it yours. And if you know this was your divine interruption, type it now like you mean it. "Lord, I stayed." But before you move on, before your attention is pulled away by everything waiting for you beyond this moment, listen carefully. Do not treat what you have just heard as the end of the conversation, because I am not finished speaking to you yet. There is a reason your heart feels stirred right now. There is a reason you have not left. I am reaching beyond your distractions, beyond your routine, and beyond the walls you have built around your worries. Stay with me for one more moment. Quiet the noise around you and let my voice come closer, because what I need to show you next is not for the crowd, it is for you personally. My child, stop for just 1 minute. I am asking you to pause, right here and right now. You do not need to scroll past this, and you do not need to rush to the next thing. I see the noise of the world rushing around you, roaring like a sudden storm, drowning out my gentle voice. You have been running so fast, carrying so much, and you are exhausted. Do you feel that knot in your stomach? A tight, heavy feeling in your chest? That isn't from me. Let's undo it together. I know exactly what is weighing you down today. I see your fear of the future and how it keeps you awake at night, staring at the ceiling in the dark. I watch you carry the heavy pressure at your job, trying so hard to meet every demand while feeling completely drained of your energy. I hear the unspoken tensions in your family, the quiet arguments, and the words you swallow just to keep the peace in your home. I feel your silent ache of feeling overlooked, wondering if anyone truly sees your effort or understands your pain. I see you. I see the real you, not just the brave face you show the world. And I am asking you to give me just 60 seconds of your time. Surrender this 1 minute to your Creator. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end of all things. Yet I value this tiny fraction of your day more than you can imagine. I hold the stars in the vast sky, but right now, I only want to hold your heart. I want you to experience the stillness required to feel my presence in your restless soul. It is like that quiet pause before a fierce storm breaks, that heavy, still silence where everything in nature just waits. I want you to find that same profound stillness inside yourself. Take a deep breath, just like the deep breath you take before you face a massive challenge. Breathe in. Let it out. I am right here with you. Break the cycle of distraction that is pulling you away from spiritual clarity. You look at screens, you listen to loud voices, and you let the world tell you who you should be and what you should worry about. Turn it off for just a moment. Listen to my voice instead. I am speaking directly to you, sitting with you in this quiet room, offering you a true peace that the world cannot give. Close your eyes and lean into my love. I invite you to breathe in my grace as you begin this journey with me today. My grace is sufficient for your job, for your family, for your future, and for your hidden fear. You are not overlooked by me. You are my beloved, my precious one, and I have set this specific moment apart just for you. Do not let this minute slip away into the busyness of your day. Stay with me. Let my presence wash over you like cool water on a blistering day. Give me your anxious thoughts and your heavy burdens. Let me carry them upon my shoulders. I command you to rest in my love right now. Invite my spirit into your mind and let me clear away the fog of your worries. Your time is precious, but the time you spend with me will multiply your strength. I am ready to speak to your heart, if you will only listen. I see the heaviness you carry behind that polite, silent smile you show to everyone else. You walk into your workplace, you sit at your family table, and you pretend that everything is perfectly fine. You tell them you are just tired, but I know the truth. I know that your soul feels like it is dragging a massive, heavy weight. You are trying to be strong for everyone around you. You are trying to hold all the pieces together so they do not fall apart. I watch you as you sit in your car for an extra minute before going inside, just trying to gather enough energy to face the evening. I see those secret tears that you quickly wipe away in the bathroom mirror so no one will ask what is wrong. I have counted every single one of those tears. You are not invisible to me. I feel the exact pressure that is resting on your shoulders right now. Stop trying to be your own savior. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world, and you certainly were not meant to fix every broken thing in your life by yourself. Drop that heavy bat of expectations right now. Lay down the heavy yoke of what society expects from you, what your boss demands of you, and what you unfairly demand of yourself. I invite you to bring all of that exhaustion and lay it down at my feet. Give me the bills you do not know how to pay. Give me the relationship that feels too tangled to fix. Give me the fear that you are falling behind in life. Surrender the need to control every outcome. Breathe out that heavy sigh you have been holding in your chest for weeks. I promise to give you true, deep rest. I am not talking about a few hours of sleep. I am offering you rest for your deep, weary soul. When you let go of your need to figure everything out, you create space for my power to step in. I am already working in the very spaces where you feel completely stuck. You look at your situation and see a dead end, but I see a new door that I am building just for you. You look at the mess and see failure, but I am organizing the pieces to bring you a breakthrough. Trust my hands. You do not have to have all the answers today. You only need to trust that I do. Lean into my strength. Let me carry you when your legs feel too weak to take another step. I am here to lift your head, to ease your mind, and to remind you that you are deeply loved. Do not carry tomorrow's burden with today's strength. Give it to me and walk in freedom. You often believe the lie that my love must be earned by your good behavior. You think I am like a harsh boss, keeping a checklist of your mistakes, ready to punish you the moment you fail. My child, you could not be further from the truth. I need you to understand that my love is not a reward for your perfection. You do not have to clean yourself up before you come to me. You do not have to fix your life before you ask for my help. I loved you before you took your first breath. I loved you before the very foundations of the world were laid. My affection for you is not based on how much money you make, how successful your career is, or how well you hold your temper. My love is based entirely on who I am, and I am a father who is fiercely devoted to his child. Look at the cross if you ever doubt your worth. That sacrifice was the ultimate, undeniable proof of my devotion to you. I paid the highest price because I saw the highest value in you. Stop believing the toxic voices in your head that tell you that you are too broken, too damaged, or too far gone to be cherished. I reject those lies, and I command you to reject them too. When the world tells you that you are not enough, I declare that you are completely mine. When your own mind attacks you with memories of your past failures, I remind you that my grace does not have an expiration date. My mercy is new every single morning. You can outrun my love, and you certainly cannot out-sin my grace. Accept your true identity today. You are a beloved child of the Most High God. Step out of the shadows of guilt and walk into the brilliant light of my acceptance. I want you to feel the height, the depth, and the massive breadth of a love that will never abandon you. I do not look at you with disappointment. I look at you with profound pride and joy. Let my unconditional love wash over those deep insecurities you hide from the world. Stop trying to prove your worth to people who do not even know their own. Find your value in my words. You are safe with me. You are secure in my hands. I invite you to rest in the absolute certainty that no matter what happens today, you are wildly, completely, and eternally loved by your Creator. You are looking at the massive waves instead of looking at me. I see the panic rising in your chest when the sudden bad news arrives. I know the feeling of dread when the phone rings with an unexpected problem, when the bank account runs low, or when conflict erupts in your home. Your heart races, your mind spins with worst-case scenarios, and you feel like your small boat is going to sink. But I hold ultimate authority over the winds and the waves of your life. I control the storm that threatens to pull you under. Shift your gaze right now. Stop staring at the massive problem standing in front of you, and lock your eyes onto your provider. The storm is loud, but my voice is stronger. Cultivate an inner quiet room where the chaos of the world cannot reach you. I want you to build a sanctuary in your mind, a place where you and I sit together, completely untouched by the screaming winds outside. When the office is full of stress, retreat into this inner room. When the world feels like it is spinning out of control, step into my presence. I promise to give you a peace that makes absolutely no logical sense to the people around you. It is a peace that surpasses all human understanding, and it will act like a thick shield guarding your mind and your heart. You do not have to panic just because everyone else is panicking. You do not have to fall apart just because things are hard. Learn to sleep in the boat while the storm rages outside. Remember how I slept through the violent storm on the sea. I was not ignoring the danger. I simply knew that the storm had no power over me. I am inviting you to lay your head next to mine and rest, even while the wind howls. Speak peace, be still over your own anxious thoughts today. I command you to take authority over the fear that is trying to paralyze you. Breathe deeply and declare that I am in control of your household, your career, and your health. The storm will not last forever, but my promises do. Walk through this difficult day with a calm confidence, knowing that the water will not overtake you because I am the one steering your ship. You wonder why it is taking so long. You look around and see other people getting the promotion, finding the right relationship, or stepping into their dreams, and you ask me, when is it my turn? I hear the frustration in your prayers when you hit another closed door. I feel the agony of your waiting. But I command you to trust my timing, especially when the loud world tells you to hurry up and hustle faster. You view a no or a wait as a punishment or a rejection. I view it as my divine protection. I am shielding you from walking into rooms that you are not yet ready to handle. I am keeping you away from people who would only drain your spirit. Understand the deep refining process that happens in the quiet seasons of silence. A seed does its most important work underground, in the dark, where no one can see it. You are in that fertile soil right now. I am building your character, strengthening your roots, and expanding your capacity to hold the massive blessing I have prepared for you. If I gave it to you right now, it would crush you. So I ask you to wait. I am actively aligning the stars, shifting circumstances, and moving the hearts of key people to set up the perfect opportunity for your good. My delays are never denials. My clock is never broken, and I am never late. Find your strength in the waiting room of your faith. Stop pacing the floors with anxiety. Sit down and rest in the absolute certainty that my plans are to prosper you and not to harm you. I am crafting a future filled with vibrant hope. I invite you to change your perspective on this season. Do not view it as a time of being forgotten. View it as a time of intense preparation. Use this quiet time to draw closer to me. Ask me what you need to learn right now. Be patient with yourself and be patient with my process. When the door finally swings open, you will look back and thank me for making you wait. You will see that the exact moment it happened was the only moment it could have happened perfectly. Stand firm, keep your hope alive, and watch how beautifully I orchestrate your life. My beloved, as you wait patiently for my perfect timing in your own life, I am actively inviting you to accelerate the massive breakthrough of another. The seeds you boldly planted in your dark, waiting seasons are the exact seeds that produce the most explosive harvest of rescued souls. Your inner desire to see others set free from their agonizing delays is my spirit directly calling you to partner with this mission today. When you give to this ministry, you are literally carrying my living water to parched, desperate hearts fiercely crying out in the wilderness. I declare this living scripture over your life today. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over. This is not a random coincidence. This is a profound, divine appointment to sow into the eternal kingdom while you confidently wait for your own door to open. I promise to miraculously multiply your seed, fiercely protect your household, and rain massive favor upon your radical obedience. Step boldly into this partnership right now by giving a super thanks, becoming a member, or sending a donation through the PayPal link below. My precious child, do not turn away from me now. My heart physically aches when you walk out of the room just as I am pouring out the exact cure for your deepest pain. I am not finished speaking to you, and it deeply grieves my spirit to see you rush back into the toxic, chaotic noise of the world when your massive miracle is only a few words away. Stay with me. Honor this sacred time. Your true breakthrough is unfolding right now, and to stop listening here is to actively surrender to the enemy's loudest lie. You keep replaying the worst moments of your life on a constant loop in your mind. I see how that old betrayal still stings your heart when you think about it. I know how that mistake you made years ago still haunts your memory and makes you feel dirty. You carry a heavy bag of shame, hiding your scars from the world, terrified that if people really knew your past, they would reject you. My child, bring those broken pieces to me right now. I am the God who gently binds up the brokenhearted. I do not scold you for bleeding. I do not turn away from your messy wounds. I come close with gentle, healing hands to clean the infection of bitterness and regret out of your soul. Let go of the toxic shame that I have already washed away. Why do you continue to punish yourself for debts that I paid in full on the cross? I command you to drop the guilt. It is a heavy chain that is keeping you locked in a dark cave. I have the power to restore what the locusts have eaten in your life. I can take the years you feel you wasted, the relationships that crumbled, and the opportunities you missed, and I can weave them into something breathtaking. I promise to make radiant beauty rise directly from the ashes of your greatest regrets. What the enemy meant to use to destroy your life, I will use to build your ultimate testimony. Walk out of the dark tomb of yesterday and step fully into the warm light of today. Stop living in the graveyard of your past mistakes. I invite you to allow my touch to completely transform your ugly scars into powerful badges of survival and my grace. Your story is not over because of a bad chapter. I am writing a new page today. Forgive yourself, just as freely and totally as I have forgiven you. Leave the grave clothes behind. You do not belong to your past. You belong to me. Stand up tall, take a deep breath of fresh air, and step forward into the bright, unwritten future I have prepared for you. Your greatest days are not the ones behind you. They are the ones waiting for you right now. Walk in my light. I see the thick, heavy wall you have built completely around your wounded heart. You truly think that by holding tightly onto your deep anger, you are somehow punishing the person who hurt you. I know exactly who just came to your mind as you read this. I see the immediate tension in your jaw and the sudden pit in your stomach when their name is merely spoken. You carry the bitter memory of their betrayal like a heavy, sharp stone in your pocket, touching it constantly throughout your day to remind yourself of the pain. But my child, listen to me very carefully. That stone is not weighing them down. It is rapidly sinking you. I am calling you to drop that heavy stone right now. I command you to reflect my deep, endless mercy by completely releasing those who have deeply wounded you. I am not asking you to pretend the terrible pain never happened. I saw every single secret tear you cried when they broke your trust, and my heart broke with yours. But I am inviting you to stop drinking the toxic poison of bitterness while hoping the other person will suffer. Step directly into the absolute, breathtaking freedom found only in breaking these heavy chains of resentment. Forgiveness is not a reward you give to them. It is a profound, life-saving gift you give to your own exhausted soul. When you constantly clench your fists in tight anger, your hands are too closed to receive the beautiful, massive blessings I am trying to hand you right now. Open your hands today. Release your tight grip on your grudge. I invite you to actually pray for the person who caused your tears. I know your human flesh fights violently against this idea, but how prayer for your enemies changes things is a stunning mystery of my grace. It completely melts the hard ice around your own heart long before it ever touches theirs. Remember the incredibly vast debt I instantly forgave you when you came to me with empty hands and a broken spirit. I wiped your slate completely clean, asking nothing in return but your whole heart. I need you to do the very same for them today. The vibrant spiritual health that flows from a heart completely without grudges will totally transform your physical body and your daily peace. You will finally sleep better. You will breathe so much easier. You will laugh louder than you have in years. Stop desperately trying to act as the angry judge and jury in your own life. Leave the vengeance and the complicated justice completely to me, so you can walk freely in absolute peace. I promise to fiercely defend you. I promise to miraculously make right what they broke. But you must let the anger go. Look at how this anger has quietly leaked into the other areas of your life. It makes you snap at the people who actually love you. It rapidly drains your precious energy when you should be focusing completely on your own incredible future. I want to clear out that toxic waste from your mind right now. I command you to replace your silent plotting and your rehearsing of old arguments with my solid promises of peace. Every single time the memory of the painful offense tries to creep back into your thoughts, I want you to actively push it out by whispering my name. Say out loud, Jesus, handle this for me. Let my Holy Spirit wash completely through the darkest, dustiest corners of your heart until there is absolutely no resentment left hiding there. You are far too precious, and your divine calling is far too massive to be held back by an old, stale offense. Let my perfect love have the final word in this painful chapter. Release them, forgive them completely, and step freely into the wide, sunlit spaces of my joy. I know you feel like you are walking completely alone through a dense, terrifying darkness right now. I see you sitting quietly in that cold, sterile hospital waiting room, staring blankly at the floor. I watch you walking slowly through the quiet, empty rooms of your house after a devastating loss, feeling like the heavy silence is actually deafening. I know the sheer, breathtaking panic that gripped your chest when you lost your job and the clear path forward suddenly vanished into a thick, gray fog. You look around in desperation, and you cannot even see the very next step, let alone the final destination. But I am giving you my absolute, unshakable assurance today that you are never, ever walking alone in the dark. I am right there beside you, matching your every single step. Even when your exhausted feelings loudly lie to you and tell you that you have been abandoned, my living presence is a massive, immovable reality in your room. I hold my rod and my staff to provide ultimate comfort and fierce, undeniable protection when you feel entirely vulnerable to the attacks of the world. The dark shadows around you may be long and frightening, but you must remember that a shadow can only exist if there is a bright light shining somewhere nearby. I am that bright light. When the path ahead is completely obscured by the thick fog of your current crisis, I invite you to find undeniable, guiding light in my word. Do not stress yourself trying to figure out the exact plan for the next 5 years. I am only asking you to find the simple courage to take the very next single step, despite your overwhelming fear of the terrifying unknown. Take one step, and I will faithfully illuminate the next. You must clearly recognize today that this dark valley is only a temporary passage. It is not your permanent destination. You are merely walking through it. You are absolutely not setting up camp here. Do not build a permanent house in the deep valley of your temporary pain. Keep moving forward, leaning heavily on my strong shoulder. The profound intimacy with me that is uniquely found in these deep, dark places will become the absolute greatest anchor of your entire life. You will intimately learn things about my character in this heavy sorrow that you could never have possibly learned on the sunny, easy mountaintops. I am literally carrying you right now when you feel you cannot walk another inch. I am whispering fierce courage into your weary spirit when the world is loudly screaming despair. I command you to lift up your eyes right now, today. The dark valley feels exactly like a deep, permanent grave, but I promise you it is actually a temporary tunnel leading directly to your greatest, most stunning victory. Listen to the steady sound of my voice cutting directly through the heavy silence of your despair. I am not a distant, uncaring observer watching you struggle from afar. I am intimately, deeply involved in every single detail of this difficult journey. When you cry out softly in the middle of the dark night, my ear is already pressed closely to your lips. When your legs shake violently with complete exhaustion, my strong arms are already wrapped tightly around your waist. I want you to completely stop bracing yourself for the next piece of bad news. Instead, I command you to brace yourself for the sudden, miraculous breakthrough I am bringing your way very soon. The enemy desperately wants you to believe that this dark valley is the tragic end of your story, but I am telling you right now that it is only the messy middle of a glorious testimony. The warm light of dawn is already beginning to aggressively break over your horizon. Even if your tired, tear-filled eyes cannot see it yet. Walk in bold confidence today, knowing the Maker of the universe is your personal, unfailing guide. I hear the loud, frantic voices inside your head constantly asking what if all day long. What if I fail this important exam? What if the money completely runs out before the end of the month? What if my children make the wrong choices and ruin their lives? What if my physical health does not improve? What if the people I love deeply decide to leave me all alone? These terrifying what-ifs are acting exactly like heavy, cold iron chains wrapped tightly around your exhausted mind, keeping you completely paralyzed in a state of constant, humming panic. I am stepping in today to aggressively address every single one of those terrifying what-ifs with the undeniable, explosive power of I am. I am your endless provider. I am your miraculous healer. I am your fierce, unmatched protector. I have absolutely not given you a spirit of shrinking back, a spirit of timidity, or a spirit of crippling fear. No, I have powerfully filled you with a massive spirit of unstoppable power, of deep, unconditional love, and of a completely sound, focused, and calm mind. I command you to step out in bold, radical faith today, even when your knees are visibly shaking and your palms are sweating. True courage is not the complete absence of fear. It is acting in direct, stubborn obedience to my voice despite the loud presence of fear. I want you to tangibly feel how my perfect, flawless love actively casts out and aggressively banishes every single lingering dread from your heavy heart. When you truly, deeply grasp how intensely and fiercely I love you, the terrifying fear of the future simply melts away into nothing. You realize that no matter what chaotic event tomorrow brings, I am already standing there waiting in tomorrow to perfectly provide for you. Start intentionally and aggressively replacing the dark, toxic lies of the enemy with the bright, burning truth of my word. When the enemy whispers quietly that you are going to go bankrupt, you declare out loud that I shall faithfully supply all your needs according to my endless riches and glory. When the enemy tells you that your family is permanently falling apart, you declare boldly that I am the ultimate, miraculous restorer of broken walls. The final victory already belongs completely to you through the finished, bloody work of my Son. You do not have to exhaust yourself fighting for victory. I am inviting you to simply stand tall and fight from the solid position of a victory that has already been entirely won. Stop acting like a defeated, cowering prisoner of war when I have already officially crowned you as a triumphant conqueror. Take a deep, slow, steadying breath right now. Unclench your tight jaw. Drop your tense shoulders. Tell the gripping fear that it must immediately bow its knee to the supreme name of Jesus. I am actively breaking those heavy iron chains of anxiety off your weary mind right this very second. Look closely at the irrational fears you have been feeding with your daily, precious attention. Have they ever added a single, joyful day to your life? Have they ever solved a single, actual problem? No. They only aggressively steal your precious joy and rapidly drain your physical energy. Today marks the absolute end of fear's toxic reign over your daily decisions. I command you to completely stop taking foolish counsel from your anxieties and start taking direct marching orders strictly from my promises. If a thought does not immediately bring you peace, hope, or power, then that thought is an illegal, trespassing intruder in the sacred temple of your mind. Evict it immediately without hesitation. Stand tall, look the terrifying future squarely in the eye, and know deeply that your God has absolutely guaranteed your final, spectacular triumph. You are entirely safe. You are incredibly strong. You are completely mine. You are free to move forward. You are free to sleep peacefully tonight. You are free to confidently pursue the massive dreams I have placed deeply in your heart without the heavy anchor of dread holding you back. Walk directly in your divine power. Speak directly to your massive mountains and watch them actively move out of your way. I am fiercely backing you up with all the unmatched authority of heaven itself. I want you to pay very close, intentional attention to the exact words that are coming out of your mouth every single day. You truly do not realize the immense, literal, creative power that is resting right there on your tongue. Deeply understanding that actual life and actual death are actively found in the power of the tongue is the absolute, non-negotiable key to completely changing your current, painful reality. I hear you sitting at the family dinner table complaining loudly about how terrible your job is, and then you quietly wonder why you have absolutely no motivation to go to work in the morning. I hear you looking in the bathroom mirror and speaking harsh, deeply critical words over your own physical body, and then you wonder why your self-esteem is completely shattered and broken. I hear you constantly telling your friends exactly how broke you are, actively cementing a heavy reality of poverty directly over your own household. I am commanding you right now to absolutely stop cursing your own life with your own mouth. Align your daily, Casual speech directly with my vast, miraculous promises rather than endlessly rehearsing your massive, exhausting problems. I know the problems are very real. I know the bank account is terrifyingly low. But simply speaking about the empty bank account does not magically fill it. Declaring my supernatural provision completely changes the spiritual atmosphere of your home. I want you to deeply understand the profound, massive ripple effect of simple encouragement in a deeply cynical, negative world. When you actively choose to speak life and hope over a struggling coworker, or when you specifically tell your child exactly how proud you are of them, you are literally doing my divine work on earth. You are breathing fresh oxygen into a suffocating, dark room. I invite you to start aggressively using your voice to fiercely worship me rather than to endlessly, bitterly complain about your difficult circumstances. Complaining only glues you permanently to the problem, but worship actively and instantly connects you to the ultimate solution. I want you to unleash the creative, explosive force of faith-filled declarations in your living room, in your daily car commute, and in your stressful workplace. Speak out loud right now. I am highly favored by God. I am deeply and unconditionally loved. My family is highly blessed. My physical health is rapidly returning. Your spoken words are absolutely not just empty sounds vibrating harmlessly in the air. They are powerful, active spiritual containers. They either carry toxic fear and death, or they carry explosive faith and life. Guard your mouth with everything you have, actively treating it as a sacred, holy temple of my Holy Spirit. Do not let toxic gossip, bitter complaints, or heavy, dark pessimism cross your lips today. Your tongue is the actual steering wheel of your life's ship. If you constantly talk about sinking and drowning, do not be surprised when you violently hit the hidden rocks. But if you intentionally steer your daily words toward hope, toward victory, and toward my unfailing, active love, you will safely navigate directly into calm and highly prosperous waters. I am asking you to be aggressively intentional with every single sentence you speak today. I challenge you to go 24 full hours without a single negative word of complaint. When you suddenly face a massive obstacle, do not talk to your friends about how big the terrifying mountain is. Instead, talk directly to the mountain about exactly how big your God is. Let your voice be like sweet, soothing honey, bringing rapid healing to the weary bones of everyone who hears them, including yourself. The very next time you feel the strong, familiar urge to complain about how hard things currently are, I want you to completely pause. Take a deep, slow breath. Pivot your thoughts entirely. Find just one single, tiny thing to thank me for, and speak that gratitude out loud into the room. Watch exactly how quickly the heavy, dark atmosphere in your home completely changes into light. You are a creator, made precisely in my exact image, and just as I powerfully spoke the entire physical universe into existence, I've given you the profound, unmatched authority to speak a new, highly blessed reality into your own daily life. Use your words today to actively build, to rapidly heal, and to totally conquer. You have just learned the undeniable, creative power of speaking life over your own circumstances, and now I am calling you to speak explosive life into the dark world around you. Your deep urge to help others conquer their terrifying anxiety is exactly why I am drawing you to financially support this specific mission right now. When you fund this channel, you are sending my blazing fire of truth across the digital airways to aggressively shatter the heavy iron chains of fear on millions of exhausted minds. I tell you now, he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed, and I stand completely ready to honor that ancient promise in your own finances today. Every single seed you sow is a mighty, spiritual weapon actively tearing down the enemy's toxic strongholds in broken families across the globe. Do not hesitate, for there is a soul intensely crying out for this exact message tonight. and your urgent obedience is the master key to their rescue. I will supernaturally multiply your resources, fiercely guard your income, and bring a massive harvest of unshakable peace to your home. Release your faith into action this very moment by giving a super thanks, joining as a faithful member, or donating through the link below. Beloved, pause and look directly into my eyes. Are you still listening? It completely shatters my heart to watch you try to walk away before you are fully equipped for the massive battles ahead. If you stop listening right now, you are stepping back onto a deadly, violent battlefield completely unprotected, and that brings a heavy sorrow to your father. I am actively forging your ultimate victory in these exact words. Do not silence my voice. Honor the fierce, burning love I have for you by staying until the very end. The heaviest chains are just about to snap. I completely see you anxiously checking your bank account balance on your phone for the 5th time today, feeling your heart sink heavily as you calculate the mounting bills due next week. I clearly see you staring at your incredibly busy, overflowing calendar, feeling totally overwhelmed and paralyzed because you absolutely do not have enough energy, enough time, or enough financial resources to handle all the heavy demands being placed upon you. You are actively operating from a deep, hidden, terrifying fear that you are going to completely run out of everything. But I am stepping directly into your swirling anxiety today to firmly remind you of exactly who I am. I'm Jehovah Jireh. I am the Almighty Lord who clearly sees your exact, specific situation and the Lord who perfectly, miraculously provides. I fiercely want you to stop staring in panic at exactly what you lack, and start fiercely, intentionally counting the massive, daily blessings that constantly go completely unnoticed in your exhausting daily grind. You woke up today with fresh breath actively filling your lungs. You have clean, safe water to drink. You have a solid roof over your head. These are absolutely not small, insignificant things. These are spectacular, daily miracles sent directly from my hand to you. I am actively asking you to trust deeply, without a shadow of a doubt, that I clearly know your specific, hidden needs long before you even form the actual words to ask me. I completely knew the expensive bill was coming long before it arrived in your mail. I totally knew your car would suddenly break down long before you even turned the key in the ignition. Absolutely none of your earthly needs are a surprise to heaven, and my divine, heavenly supply chain is never, ever broken or delayed. Remember the stunning miracle of the daily manna I faithfully gave to my chosen people in the harsh, barren wilderness. I strictly gave them exactly enough bread for one single, specific day. If they frantically tried to hoard it out of deep fear for tomorrow, it instantly rotted. I am giving you your daily manna right now, today. I may not give you the physical energy for next month's massive challenges today, but I will absolutely, undeniably give you the exact amount of supernatural strength you need for today's frustrating commute, today's highly difficult conversation, and today's overwhelmingly heavy workload. Stop desperately demanding next year's full provision for today's current assignment. I strongly invite you to shift permanently and completely from a toxic, paralyzing mindset of intense scarcity to a joyful, confident mindset of massive, limitless abundance. The loud, panicked world constantly tells you there is absolutely not enough to go around, that you have to aggressively fight, scrape, and panic just to barely survive. I am boldly telling you that I literally own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and you are my highly beloved, chosen heir. Everything you truly, actually need will be perfectly provided at the exact, right, divine moment. Recognize clearly right now that your natural talent, your brilliant business ideas, your physical health, and your very breath come directly and exclusively from my generous, open hand. When you finally realize that I am the ultimate, true source of all your income and all your daily strength, the crushing pressure immediately comes off your human job and your limited human abilities. Your human boss is not your provider. I am your provider. Your weekly paycheck is not your security. I am your rock-solid security. Look closely at the simple birds soaring freely outside your window right now. Do they spend their dark nights having severe panic attacks about exactly where their next meal will come from? Do they work themselves into absolute exhaustion trying to anxiously stop out resources for a future they cannot control? No. They simply wake up, joyfully sing their psalm, and completely trust that the earth I created will perfectly feed them. And you, my incredibly precious child, are worth infinitely, immeasurably more to me than all the birds of the air combined. If I actively take care of them with such precise, loving detail, how could you ever possibly believe I would abandon you in your darkest moment of need? I firmly command you to permanently banish the dark spirit of poverty and lack from your daily mindset. I command you to completely release your white-knuckled, terrified grip on your money and your fragile plans. Open your tight hands in complete, joyful trust. Take a deep, massive breath of absolute relief right now. I have got you. I have always had you. Walk confidently with your head held high, absolutely certain that heaven's vast storehouses are thrown wide open strictly for your benefit. You will never, ever walk alone, and you will absolutely never be left lacking the true, vital essentials for the glorious, successful journey I have clearly set before you. Rest completely in my endless, perfect provision today. I see you walking into your day completely unprotected, and then you wonder why you feel so incredibly beaten down by the time evening comes. You treat your daily struggles as if they are just normal human problems. You think your battle is against your difficult boss, your frustrating spouse, or your unpaid bills. I am telling you today that your actual battles are absolutely not against flesh and blood. You are fighting an unseen, spiritual war, and the enemy is actively targeting your peace, your joy, and your mind. I command you to stop walking onto a battlefield wearing casual clothes. I invite you to intentionally, actively put on the full, heavy spiritual armor that I have already provided for your absolute protection. You do not have to create this armor, you only have to wake up and choose to wear it. Start by wrapping the heavy belt of truth tightly around your waist. The father of lies is constantly whispering toxic falsehoods into your ear. He tells you that you are a massive failure, that your children are going to rebel, and that your life is completely ruined. When you hear those dark whispers, I command you to aggressively fight back with my undeniable truth. My truth is the solid foundation that holds your entire life together when everything else feels like it is falling apart. Next, I want you to carefully put on the breastplate of righteousness. Your heart and your fragile emotions are the primary targets of the enemy. He wants to fill your heart with bitter resentment, jealousy, and deep sorrow. My righteousness acts exactly like a thick, impenetrable steel plate over your chest. It powerfully protects your deep feelings from being poisoned by the toxic, cruel actions of the people around you. You do not have to absorb their anger. Let it bounce directly off the breastplate I have given you. I invite you to lace up the shoes of the gospel of peace right now. I see you walking straight into toxic environments, a hostile workplace, a tense family gathering, a difficult conversation. When you wear my peace on your feet, you do not easily slip and fall into their dramatic chaos. You walk with a heavy, grounded, quiet authority. You bring calm into the room simply because I am walking in the room with you. Now, take up the heavy shield of faith. Throughout your day, the enemy will shoot sharp, fiery darts of sudden panic directly at your mind. An unexpected expense, a sudden sharp pain in your body, a terrifying what if thought. I command you to raise your shield of absolute trust in me. Faith completely extinguishes that sudden panic attack before it can burn down your entire day. Finally, I command you to firmly grip the sword of the Spirit, which is my living, breathing word. Do not just silently think about your problems. Actively speak my promises out loud. Cut down the terrifying lies with the sharp edge of my spoken truth. I have equipped you to be a fierce, unstoppable warrior. Stand your ground today, completely protected, completely armed, and utterly victorious. I watch you working so incredibly hard to carefully hide your true mess from me. You put on your polite, religious face, you string together fancy, spiritual-sounding words, and you desperately try to act as if you have everything perfectly under control. My precious child, you can drop the heavy, exhausting act right this very second. I absolutely do not need your fake perfection. I do not want your practiced, hollow performances. I am deeply, fiercely drawn to the stunning beauty of a broken and contrite heart. I invite you to come to me exactly as you are right now. Bring me your ugly doubts. Bring me your deeply hidden shame. Bring me the dark habits you cannot seem to break. The absolute sweetness of coming to me without your heavy mask is the very first step toward your total, miraculous freedom. I am not standing here with a harsh stick ready to punish you. I am standing here with open arms, ready to completely wash you clean. I want you to know that a simple, tear-filled, desperate whisper of "Lord, help me" is infinitely more powerful than a long, perfectly structured prayer spoken with a proud heart. When you lock yourself in your bathroom and simply cry out to me because you have absolutely no strength left, that is when heaven forcefully invades your space. I am magnetically drawn to those who deeply, honestly recognize their desperate need for me. It is your human pride that keeps you living at a cold, painful distance from my love. You think you need to clean up your own life before you can invite me inside. That is like trying to heal your own broken arm before you finally go to the hospital. I am the great physician. I command you to let go of the stubborn pride that says, "I can handle this all by myself." You were never designed to handle it by yourself. I invite you to step fully into the refreshing, cool rain of genuine repentance. Repentance is not a dirty word. It is the breathtaking, beautiful process of your soul being completely scrubbed clean. It is simply turning away from the toxic things that are actively destroying you and fiercely running back into my safe arms. Let the heavy burden of your secret sins fall completely off your tired shoulders today. Stop desperately pretending to be strong when you are quietly falling apart inside. I want you to make a profound discovery today. My divine, unstoppable strength is made absolutely perfect in your exact moments of greatest weakness. When you finally reach the total end of your own human ability, that is the exact starting line for my supernatural power. Hand me your broken, exhausted heart today. Do not try to glue the shattered pieces back together yourself. Let me lovingly hold the broken pieces and watch how I carefully, miraculously put you back together stronger, brighter, and more beautiful than you ever were before. You constantly look at your daily, routine life and you feel a deep, heavy sense of total insignificance. You drive to the exact same job, you do the exact same chores, and you quietly wonder if this mundane loop is all there is to your existence. I am speaking directly to your spirit right now. I absolutely did not create you to merely survive, pay bills, and eventually die. I placed a specific, magnificent design directly into your very DNA for my ultimate glory. You have a massive, undeniable, divine calling on your life. Do not look at the famous people on your screens and think that they are the only ones with a mission. Your specific mission is exactly where your feet are planted right now. I command you to move entirely beyond the boring, mundane routine of merely existing and step boldly into the active, thrilling mission I have carefully prepared just for you. I intentionally gave you your highly unique personality, your specific quirks, your deep passions, and even your painful past experiences. None of it was an accident. I am asking you to start using your unique, powerful gifts to be a blazing light in a very dark, cynical world. You do not need a stage or a microphone to completely change a life. Your true calling might be the intense, patient love you show to your difficult child. Your true calling might be the absolute integrity and kindness you bring to your toxic office. Your true calling might be the quiet, encouraging words you speak to a deeply depressed friend. I want you to experience the overwhelming, explosive joy of finally finding your exact, intended place in my grand, sweeping design. When you walk in your true calling, even the hard days carry a deep, satisfying sense of massive purpose. I know you are currently fighting a heavy feeling of total inadequacy. You look at the big dreams I have placed in your heart, and you immediately tell me all the reasons why you are completely unqualified. You say you do not have enough money, enough education, or enough time. I command you to aggressively overcome that lying spirit of inadequacy today. I do not call the fully equipped. I supernaturally equip the ones I call. When you step out in bold, radical faith, I will absolutely provide the exact resources you desperately need. Stop waiting for a magical moment of perfect readiness. Perfect readiness is a total illusion. I invite you to quiet your mind today and clearly hear my voice speaking to your spirit. Listen closely as I point to your next step and whisper securely, "This is the way. Walk in it." Step into your ultimate destiny today. Stop apologizing for the massive dreams I placed inside you and start fiercely pursuing them with my total, undeniable backing. I see how completely consumed you are by the painful, stressful troubles staring you in the face right now. The scary news headlines, the frustrating medical diagnosis, the constant financial strain. They are all screaming loudly for your undivided attention. I am absolutely not telling you that your current pain is fake, but I am commanding you to actively shift your deep focus today. I want you to remember that your current, heavy troubles are but a brief, light affliction when perfectly compared to the stunning, massive weight of eternal glory I have prepared for you. I invite you to fiercely fix your tired eyes on the things that are entirely unseen and completely eternal. The stressful things you can see right now, your bank account, your aging body, your broken car, are all temporary. They are going to pass away. But my kingdom, my love for you, and your actual soul will last forever and ever. You must start living today with the profound, unshakable awareness of your true citizenship in heaven. You are only a temporary visitor on this broken, messy earth. You are walking through a foreign land. Do not get so deeply attached to the dirt here that you completely forget the spectacular, golden home waiting for you. I have personally, carefully prepared a magnificent mansion for you in my house. This is not just a physical building. It is a profound, ultimate place of total belonging, absolute safety, and unbroken peace. When the heavy rejections of this world fiercely knock you down, I want you to confidently remember that you are already fully accepted and totally celebrated in the highest courts of heaven. Let this powerful, eternal hope aggressively sustain you when this cold world violently breaks your heart. I want you to let eternity directly dictate your daily priorities and your inner peace. When you truly grasp that this short life is only the brief title page of an endless, glorious book, it completely changes how you handle today's minor inconveniences. The rude comment from a stranger suddenly does not matter. The temporary setback in your career suddenly loses its terrifying grip on your throat. The deep comfort of knowing that the end of this physical life is absolutely only a bright, new beginning will completely remove the heavy sting of death and the paralyzing fear of aging. I command you to lift your heavy chin up today. Breathe deeply and look far past the messy horizon of your current crisis. You are an eternal, magnificent being deeply loved by an eternal, invincible God. Walk through today's exhausting mess with the calm, quiet dignity of royalty, knowing your final destination is absolutely secure, incredibly beautiful, and forever guaranteed. As you shift your heavy gaze from the temporary, fading struggles of this earth to the stunning, eternal glory I have prepared for you, I urgently invite you to invest your earthly resources into unbreakable, heavenly treasures. Your heart deeply longs to make a massive, eternal impact, and I am personally handing you the exact opportunity to do so right this very second. By supporting this vital ministry, you are literally paving the golden roads of eternity by bringing lost, shattered souls directly into my glorious kingdom. I clearly declare to you, store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, because every seed sown here actively rescues a life from the terrifying edge of total despair. This is a prophetic, divine invitation to actively trade the cheap currency of this world for the eternal, magnificent weight of rescued humanity. As you boldly fund the global spread of my gospel, I promise to miraculously multiply your daily bread, open unimaginable doors of extreme favor, and forcefully protect your future lineage. Do not let this vital, life-saving moment pass you by while all of heaven is watching your response. Secure your eternal impact today by offering a super thanks, stepping up as a member, or giving through the PayPal link in the description. My child, do not let the frantic, demanding world steal this holy, sacred moment from us. It brings a profound, heavy disappointment to my spirit when you choose the fleeting, empty distractions of your screen over the life-saving breath of your Creator. I am actively, miraculously knitting your shattered pieces back together in this very conversation. Do not walk away from the operating table before the massive healing is completely finished. Stay here with me. Hold your ground. Your ultimate, explosive freedom depends entirely on what I am about to say next. I want to give you a massive, highly explosive spiritual weapon today, and it is completely free to use right now. I command you to actively, intentionally cultivate a deep heart of radical gratitude. I see how incredibly easy it is for you to instantly slide into a dark, heavy pit of constant discontentment. You spend hours endlessly scrolling on your phone, looking closely at the carefully filtered, fake lives of other people, and you immediately feel bitter about your own normal life. You focus entirely on the one thing you do not have, completely ignoring the 99 massive miracles you already possess. I want you to experience the profound, immediate spiritual shift that happens in your very brain when you actively begin to give me thanks. Genuine gratitude is your absolute, sharpest weapon against the heavy, suffocating spirits of depression, anxiety, and envy. It literally forces your mind to step out of the dark and into my brilliant light. I invite you to start finding my very real fingerprints deeply embedded in the smallest, most ordinary details of your day. Thank me for the hot coffee that woke you up. Thank me that your car engine actually started this morning. Thank me for the simple text message from a friend checking in on you. Thank me for the warm blanket on your bed. When you aggressively start looking for my daily goodness, you will be utterly shocked to see that you are absolutely surrounded by it on every single side. I command you to pause right now and clearly acknowledge the answered prayers that you are currently living in. 5 years ago, you begged me with tears for some of the exact things you simply take for granted today. Do not develop spiritual amnesia. Look exactly at where you are right now, and fiercely thank me for bringing you safely through the terrifying storms you thought would drown you. The daily practice of loud, intentional praise brings an incredible, massive multiplication of joy into your physical body. You cannot be fiercely grateful and deeply anxious at the exact same time. It is spiritually and physically impossible. Gratitude actively starves your anxiety and powerfully feeds your faith. I want you to turn every single breath into a constant, flowing offering of thank you. When you are stuck in terrible, frustrating traffic, do not complain. Loudly thank me that you have a vehicle to drive. When you are totally exhausted from washing dirty dishes, do not grumble. Fiercely thank me that you have food to eat and a family to feed. Change your entire toxic vocabulary from I have to do this to I get to do this. I promise you, if you make this radical shift today, the heavy, gray clouds over your home will rapidly break, and my vibrant, warm joy will flood directly into your living room. Count your massive blessings today, name them one by one out loud, and watch how quickly your entire world completely transforms. I see you desperately searching for real answers in all the wrong places. You endlessly scroll through the bright, glowing screen of your phone late at the night, silently hoping to find a quick solution to your deep, massive pain. You actively ask people for their advice. You read the loud opinions of the world, and you still walk away feeling completely empty, entirely confused, and more stressed than before. I am giving you the exact, perfect answer you are looking for today. I command you to pick up my word. My word is absolutely not just an old, dusty history book sitting ignored on your shelf. It is a brilliant, blazing lamp carefully placed right at your feet, and it is a powerful, shining light completely illuminating your dark, scary path. When you feel totally lost in the heavy fog of your daily decisions, I want you to physically open the Bible. It is incredibly living and deeply active in your actual, daily life right now. I know you faced modern, highly complicated problems at your job, intense conflict in your marriage, and terrifying pressure with your bank account. But I am firmly telling you that the ancient, rock-solid truths found directly in my scripture hold the exact, precise answers you need to solve today's massive stress. I invite you to entirely stop seeking cheap, temporary fixes and start actively building your daily life on an eternal, unbreakable foundation. Read the deep, profound words I have personally written directly to you. I want you to see the glorious gospel not as a boring list of strict, religious rules, but as an intimate, passionate love letter written specifically for your weary, exhausted heart. I fiercely want you to actively hide my promises deep within your own mind so that you absolutely do not stumble when the sudden, violent storms of life hit your house. When you clearly memorize exactly what I have said about your bright, secure future, the loud, toxic lies of the enemy suddenly lose all their terrifying power over your emotions. Feed your starving spirit today. You actively make sure your physical body eats food every single day, yet you completely starve your inner soul for weeks at a time. I am offering you the true, satisfying bread of life. Come to the table and eat until you are completely full. I command you to make a firm, unbreakable decision today. Before you check the terrifying daily news on your television, and before you look at the noisy, chaotic social media apps, you will spend quiet, dedicated time reading my living words. Let my calm voice be the very first thing that shapes your daily thoughts in the morning. The deep wisdom actively found in these pages will rapidly transform your anxious mind into a sharp, focused, and completely unshakable weapon. The more you read, the clearer your daily vision will become. You will suddenly know exactly which job offer to take, exactly how to patiently handle that difficult person in your family, and exactly where to step next on your journey. Do not ignore the massive, priceless treasure chest I have placed right inside your own home. Open it right today. Dig deeply into it. Let my absolute, pure truth wash completely over your exhausted mind and bring you the deep, profound clarity you have been crying out for. You are deeply, unconditionally loved, and I have purposely given you the ultimate, perfect map for this highly difficult journey. Follow my directions, and you will absolutely never be lost again. I watch you running around frantically every single day, desperately trying to force good things to happen in your own life. You constantly work incredibly long hours. You hustle without ever stopping, and you completely exhaust your physical body trying to manufacture your own human success. Stop running right now. I command you to completely pause and deeply understand a vital, life-changing truth. I am the true vine, and you are simply the branch. I strongly invite you to learn the massive, undeniable necessity of staying firmly, securely connected to me if you truly want to bear any lasting, beautiful fruit in your daily life. When you intentionally detach yourself from my daily presence and try to operate entirely on your own limited human strength, you very quickly dry up. You become completely burnt out, bitterly frustrated, and totally spiritually empty inside. Understand clearly and absolutely today that apart from me, you can do absolutely nothing of eternal, lasting value. I am the actual, living source of your life, your deep joy, and your daily physical energy. Draw your necessary strength directly from my spirit today, just exactly like a fragile branch draws heavy, life-giving sap directly from the strong main tree. I deeply want you to experience the profound, genuine rest that comes from simply being in my safe presence, rather than constantly doing exhausting things to earn my love or the world's approval. You absolutely do not have to perform for me. You only have to abide closely with me. Rest quietly in my strong arms today and let my natural, powerful overflow of love pour directly into your exhausted, empty heart. I also need you to deeply understand the painful but incredibly necessary pruning process that is actively happening in your life right now. I clearly know it hurts you deeply when I subtly remove certain close people, certain comfortable jobs, or certain familiar situations from your daily routine. You immediately feel like you are being violently cut apart and completely abandoned by me. But I firmly command you to completely shift your perspective today. I am absolutely not punishing you when I carefully prune your branches. I am lovingly, expertly cutting away the dead, toxic weight that is actively holding you back from your true destiny. I only prune the specific branches I fiercely, deeply love, so that they can grow even stronger and produce a much bigger, sweeter, and more vibrant harvest in the near future. Let go of the old things I am actively removing from your hands right now. Do not angrily fight the sharp, necessary shears of my grace. Trust completely that I am the ultimate master gardener, and I know exactly what needs to go so that you can fully and beautifully thrive. The very things you are desperately crying over losing today are the exact things that were secretly draining your precious joy and blocking your growth. I invite you to entirely and completely surrender your fragile plans to my perfect, divine timing. Stay incredibly close to me in your daily, quiet prayers. Talk to me easily while you drive your car to work. Whisper my powerful name the exact second you feel the heavy stress rising in your tight chest. When you fiercely and intentionally protect your intimate, daily connection with me, the massive, beautiful fruit of total peace, extreme patience, and genuine, warm love will naturally explode in your daily life without you having to anxiously force it. Abide deeply in my unfailing love today, and actively watch how I beautifully and miraculously sustain you through every single changing season. I see exactly what violently happens to your fragile heart when you unlock your phone and intensely look at the perfectly curated, highly filtered lives of the people all around you. You clearly see your old friends buying big, beautiful houses, getting massive, high-paying promotions at work, or publicly celebrating their happy relationships, and a heavy, dark cloud of total, crushing defeat immediately crashes directly over your anxious mind. You secretly and bitterly ask me, why are they getting so highly blessed right now while I am permanently, painfully stuck in this exact same lonely place? I am actively stepping in today to forcefully break the toxic, crushing trap of constantly looking at other people's journeys instead of actively, intentionally focusing on your very own. I firmly command you to completely and aggressively reject the vicious, silent thief of joy that actively lives in the heavy, unrealistic pressure of modern social expectations. I did absolutely not create you to exhaust yourself running someone else's race. I created you to powerfully, confidently run yours. I strongly invite you to deeply understand today that I have a very specific, perfectly timed, and highly customized plan strictly for your life. My exact divine timing for your massive, impending breakthrough does not depend at all on someone else's rapid, visible success. When you constantly and unfairly compare your difficult, messy behind-the-scenes reality to their shiny, fake highlight reel on the internet, you actively insult the beautiful, unique masterpiece I am carefully, expertly painting in your own daily life. I command you to completely stop insulting my divine, intentional work within you. The strict, demanding timeline the loud world constantly pushes, telling you that you absolutely must be perfectly married, wealthy, and highly successful by a certain young age, is a complete, absolute, and total lie from the enemy. I firmly command you to immediately stop measuring your massive, eternal worth by their cheap, superficial human yardstick. I deeply want you to start actively and genuinely celebrating the real, tangible blessings of other people without instantly losing your own daily, hard-earned joy. When you can truly smile and loudly clap for the specific person who just received the exact miracle you have been desperately, tearfully praying for, you loudly prove to me that your heart is fully prepared and mature enough to handle your own massive, coming blessing. Do not let bitter, dark, silent jealousy completely poison your beautiful spirit today. The absolute uniqueness of your personal, daily walk with me is something I have personally, intimately choreographed down to the very last tiny, specific detail. Your personal testimony is going to be incredibly powerful precisely and exactly because it does not look like theirs. I am actively calling you right now to deeply find the ultimate, rock-solid form of true spiritual wealth today, which is profound, unshakable, and absolute contentment. When you are deeply, genuinely content exactly where you currently are, the enemy completely and totally loses all of his power to make you miserable and anxious. I invite you to take a deep, massive, cleansing breath right now. Put the distracting phone down. Stop anxiously staring at their busy lane and lock your eyes directly and only on the clear path I have laid out perfectly in front of your own feet. You are absolutely not falling behind in life. You are absolutely not a failure. You are exactly where I need you to be for this specific, vital chapter of your spiritual training. Your beautiful, overflowing season of massive harvest is rapidly approaching, and it will be perfectly, intimately tailored to fit only you. Walk forward today with your head held extremely high, completely and totally free from the exhausting, crushing weight of desperately trying to keep up with the chaotic world. You are deeply loved, highly valued, and completely on time. I completely see the heavy, painful, and deeply quiet isolation you have intentionally built around yourself. You have been deeply, terribly hurt by people in your past, perhaps even by people directly inside the walls of a church, and you have made a quiet, stubborn, firm decision to simply walk this entire spiritual journey completely alone. You constantly tell yourself that it is much, much safer this way, that if you absolutely do not let anyone get close to you again, they absolutely cannot break your fragile heart or violently betray your trust. I completely understand your deep, paralyzing fear, my child, but I am directly and firmly telling you today that I did absolutely not design you to walk this narrow, highly difficult road entirely alone. I firmly command you to slowly, bravely start lowering those massive, heavy steel walls you have built to forcefully keep everyone out. I strongly invite you to deeply understand the profound, explosive, and miraculous strength that is uniquely and powerfully found when two or three are genuinely gathered together in my exact name. You are stubbornly trying to carry a massive, crushing boulder all by yourself, and your tired knees are actively, visibly buckling under the intense, daily weight. You desperately, urgently need spiritual brothers and sisters to firmly grab the other side of that heavy boulder and help you lift it up. I want you to aggressively become my literal, physical hands and feet to those quietly suffering in your immediate, daily circle today. And I want you to humbly, bravely allow them to do the exact same thing for you in return. I clearly know you are terrified of messy, complicated relationships, but the profound, necessary blessing of iron sharply sharpening iron only ever happens through the intense, necessary friction of close, honest, raw fellowship. You absolutely cannot grow into the ultimate, fierce warrior I specifically created you to be if you constantly stay completely hidden in a safe, quiet, isolated bubble. I command you to start actively, intentionally looking for my divine, beautiful image clearly reflecting in the faces of the flawed, messy, normal people all around you. You constantly expect perfect, flawless people, but I only ever work with broken, messy people. I firmly command you to completely stop looking at the local church as a sterile, quiet museum designed only to perfectly display flawless, finished saints. I powerfully created the church to be a loud, active, messy, beautiful hospital strictly for the deeply broken, the severely wounded, and the heavily exhausted. You absolutely belong in that messy hospital, both to gently receive your own deep healing and to actively, fiercely bandage the bleeding wounds of others. I invite you to take a bold, terrifying, radical step of absolute vulnerability this very week. Reach out to someone you truly trust. Pick up your phone, call a friend, and honestly, openly tell them that you are currently struggling right now. Stop proudly, stubbornly pretending that you absolutely do not need anyone's help. When you finally speak your dark, hidden pain out loud to a trusted, loving believer, the dark, suffocating power of that pain is immediately and permanently broken in the spiritual realm. I am actively, loudly calling you back into deep, authentic, messy community today. I have specifically and intentionally placed certain people around your life right now because they directly carry the exact, necessary piece of the puzzle you are desperately missing. Do not foolishly reject my divine provision just because it currently comes wrapped in a flawed human package. Forgive the specific people who deeply failed you in the past, entirely release them from your heavy, bitter judgment, and cautiously, bravely open your guarded heart to the new, incredibly loyal friends I am actively trying to bring into your daily life today. You are a vital, absolutely necessary part of my massive, global body, and when you forcefully cut yourself off, the entire body actively suffers your loss. Walk confidently back into the warm, bright light of the fire today. Let the deep, genuine love of my people entirely surround you, firmly support you, and fiercely remind you that you are absolutely never, ever alone in this massive fight. You now profoundly understand that you were never meant to walk this narrow road alone, and there are millions of my precious children desperately crying out in silent, crushing isolation right now. If your heart is breaking for the wounded and the heavily exhausted, that is my own divine compassion actively beating inside your chest, calling you to step in as my physical hands and feet. When you choose to financially partner with this mission, you are pouring the thick, miraculous oil of my healing word directly into the gaping wounds of broken people worldwide. I firmly decree over your life today, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed, and I will actively ensure your own cup wildly overflows as you pour out for others. This is your urgent, prophetic moment to confidently stand in the gap, helping to lift the massive boulder off someone who is completely ready to give up on their life today. I will fiercely bless your radical generosity, wrapping your entire household in an impenetrable, blazing shield of divine provision and miraculous peace. Do not just feel temporary compassion, take immediate, bold action to actively rescue the isolated. Support this global community right now by sending a super thanks, becoming a dedicated member, or using the donation link in the description below. Listen closely to my heartbeat, my beloved. We are entering the most crucial, breathtaking stretch of our time together, and it deeply, painfully grieves my soul when you give up right before the finish line. To scroll away now is to actively refuse the magnificent, golden crown I am holding directly out to you. Do not disappoint the profound, bloody love that nailed my son to the cross by carelessly ignoring my final, vital instructions. Hold on. Lean in closer. Do not leave me now. I am just about to hand you the master key to your entire future. I see you standing in the middle of an incredibly loud, chaotic, and completely overwhelming world. From the moment you wake up, your phone is constantly pinging with urgent notifications, the television is blaring terrible news, and the loud, demanding opinions of your coworkers and family members echo in your tired mind. You are desperately trying to make a massive, life-altering decision right now. You are anxiously asking everyone around you for their human advice, frantically searching the internet for a quick solution, and begging me to just shout the answer loudly from the heavens. But I am stepping into your frantic search today to firmly command you to completely turn off the exhausting noise. I strongly invite you to deeply develop the spiritual ears required to actively hear me in the profound, heavy quiet. The loud shouting of the panicked world operates entirely on deep fear, frantic hustle, and total urgency. My divine guidance operates on absolute peace, perfect timing, and quiet, rock-solid authority. I deeply want you to learn the massive, life-saving difference between my gentle, leading voice and the frantic, pushing voice of your own anxiety. When the enemy speaks, he aggressively pushes you from behind, demanding that you must make a blind decision right this very second or you will lose everything. When I speak, I gently and confidently lead you from the front, inviting you to simply follow my secure footsteps. I absolutely do not scream over the chaotic noise of your television. I speak directly through the quiet, deep nudges in your inner spirit. I command you to start actively practicing the lost, beautiful discipline of total silence. Treat silence as a profound, high form of holy worship. Turn the music off in your car during your morning commute. Put your phone entirely in another room. Sit quietly in a chair and fiercely refuse to let your mind race. I am often not found in the massive, dramatic earthquake, the violent wind, with the blazing fire of your daily drama. I am found exclusively in the still, small, intimate whisper that follows. I invite you to pay very close attention to the deep, inner peace in your actual physical body when you are weighing a difficult choice. I often speak my will directly through the sudden, unexplainable whispers of absolute peace in your chest. If you are about to sign a major contract, enter a new relationship, or make a massive move, and your spirit feels deeply agitated, tied in hard knots, and full of humming anxiety, that is my spirit actively warning you to stop. Do not move forward just because the logical numbers look perfectly fine on a piece of paper. I firmly command you to wait patiently for the deep, settling amen in your own soul before you make your move. When I give you the green light, it will be accompanied by a profound, heavy peace that makes absolutely no logical sense to your frantic friends. Cultivate your quiet sanctuary today. I am actively trying to give you the exact, brilliant strategy you need to conquer your current mountain, but you absolutely must get quiet enough to actually hear my instructions. Stop asking the blind, panicked world for directions when you have the creator of the universe waiting quietly in the very next room to personally guide you. I am watching exactly how you are treating the incredibly precious, totally irreplaceable gifts I have generously handed to you. I see you constantly pushing your physical body to the absolute brink of total exhaustion. You fuel yourself with cheap, toxic things. You fiercely deny yourself necessary sleep to relentlessly chase more money. And you speak incredibly harsh, hateful words to your own reflection in the mirror. I firmly command you right now to actively start honoring me with your physical body. It is absolutely not just a temporary, meaningless shell. It is the sacred, holy, purchased temple of my living spirit. When you intentionally destroy your health through chronic, unchecked stress, terrible habits, and deep self-hatred, you are actively damaging the exact vehicle I specifically designed to carry my massive glory into this dark world. I strongly invite you to fiercely protect your daily energy, deeply nourish your mind, and treat yourself with the exact same profound, gentle respect that I constantly show to you. I also need you to look very closely at the responsible, daily use of the specific time and unique talents I have carefully entrusted to you. I see you spending absolutely countless, wasted hours endlessly scrolling through meaningless entertainment on your phone, completely numbing your exhausted mind, while the magnificent, brilliant dreams I placed inside you gather thick dust on a forgotten shelf. You secretly tell yourself that you will finally start writing that book, launching that business, or healing that relationship someday when you have more time. I am boldly telling you today that someday is a total, dangerous illusion. I have only given you today. I command you to start actively investing your precious, limited energy into things that actually hold massive, eternal value. Stop aggressively building temporary sandcastles that the next wave of human history will instantly wash away. Invest deeply in your children. Pour your heart into genuine, loving relationships, and strictly use your unique talents to actively bless the broken people standing right in front of you. I strongly invite you to become an incredibly faithful, fiercely loyal servant with the little things in your life right now, so that I can safely and fully trust you with the massive things I have planned for your future. I am actively watching how you behave when you think absolutely no one else is looking. I see the corners you cut at your job, the small, quiet lies you tell to save face, and the secret resentments you hoard in your heart. I command you to aggressively live a beautiful, transparent life of total, unbreakable integrity. Real character is exactly who you are in the pitch-black dark. Recognize profoundly today that absolutely everything you have, your next breath, your current paycheck, your warm bed, and your human family, is a spectacular, unearned gift completely from my open hand. You do not truly own any of it. You are simply the temporary manager of my profound blessings. Manage them with incredible, fierce gratitude, and radical, jaw-dropping generosity. When you totally release your tight, terrified grip on your money and your time, and actively use them to serve my kingdom, I will absolutely open the massive floodgates of heaven and pour out an overwhelming abundance that you will literally not have enough physical room to contain. You wake up every single morning feeling like you are already hopelessly losing a massive, brutal war. You look directly at your lingering, painful addiction, your chronic physical pain, or your deeply broken marriage, and the enemy loudly, aggressively whispers into your ear that you are a permanent, hopeless victim. He tells you that you are absolutely never going to get completely free, that your family is completely ruined, and that you are destined to live in this dark, heavy despair forever. I am violently stepping into your dark room today to forcefully and permanently silence that lying voice. I firmly command you to deeply, completely understand that the absolute final battle for your soul and your ultimate freedom has already been decisively, bloodily won at the heavy cross of Calvary. I strongly invite you to stop fiercely fighting for a victory you hope to achieve, and start standing firmly, confidently in the absolute, unquestionable victory I have already handed to you. I clearly see the enemy actively trying to stubbornly claim ground in your mind that he legally and completely lost a long time ago. He uses loud bluffs, sudden panic attacks, and dark nightmares to make you think he is still in charge of your life. I command you to aggressively stand your firm ground today. You are absolutely not a helpless, abandoned orphan desperately begging for scraps of peace. You carry the bold, unmatched, rock-solid confidence of a highly favored child whose father is the reigning, undefeated King of Kings. When the loud storms of life violently hit your house, you absolutely do not have to cower in the dark corner. I invite you to boldly walk straight through your messy, complicated life as an absolute, unstoppable conqueror through Christ. You have the total, undeniable authority to completely command the dark shadows to leave your home, to declare rapid healing over your sick body, and to speak massive, bright life over your struggling children. I want you to fiercely remember the absolute, staggering power of my blood to completely protect and entirely preserve your life. When the enemy looks at you, he does not see your pathetic past mistakes, your current bank account, or your daily human failures. He sees the blazing, terrifying, impenetrable shield of my sacrifice completely covering you. He cannot legally touch you without my express, sovereign permission. Therefore, I firmly command you to completely, stubbornly refuse to ever accept defeat in any area of your life when I have already promised you a magnificent, golden crown. Your current, painful setback is absolutely not the end of your beautiful story. It is simply the dramatic, necessary setup for your greatest, most miraculous comeback. Wipe the exhausted tears from your eyes right now. Lift your heavy head up. Square your tired shoulders. You are actively walking on the winning side of eternity, and all of heaven's massive, invincible armies are fiercely backing up every single step you take. March directly forward today with a loud, joyful shout of a warrior who already knows the glorious outcome of the war. I see you becoming incredibly, deeply entangled in the bitter, loud, and entirely temporary politics of this broken world. You are fiercely arguing with absolute strangers on the internet, completely losing your precious daily peace over earthly, human kingdoms that are entirely destined to eventually fall and crumble into dust. You are furiously saving up all your money for a comfortable, earthly retirement while completely, dangerously neglecting your vital, spiritual readiness. I am actively stepping in today to forcefully lift your heavy gaze off the dirty ground. I firmly command you to remember my absolute, unbreakable promise. I am coming back. I am actively preparing to suddenly split the skies and lovingly gather my own children to myself. I strongly invite you to start living your daily life with a profound, burning sense of intense urgency and constant readiness for my spectacular, undeniable arrival. This physical earth is absolutely not your permanent home. It is simply a temporary, fading hotel. When you look at the dark, terrifying daily news, and you feel your fragile heart rapidly sinking with total despair, I want you to remember that I clearly told you these chaotic things would happen. The violent shaking of the nations, the massive storms, and the deep unrest are absolutely not signs that I have lost control. They are the exact, loud birth pangs of my rapidly approaching kingdom. I command you to let this massive, eternal hope aggressively and completely sustain you when the loud world grows incredibly cold, dark, and hostile. I deeply want you to actively keep your spiritual lamp trimmed, fully filled with fresh oil, and your passionate heart burning fiercely for me. Do not let your daily, intimate love for me grow stale, boring, or routine just because the wait feels incredibly long. The bride does not fall asleep right before the groom finally arrives. She stands on her tiptoes, staring eagerly out the window, her heart pounding with massive, joyful anticipation. I invite you to deeply meditate on the unimaginable, explosive joy of the coming, magnificent wedding feast of the Lamb. I want you to actively anticipate the exact, breathtaking moment when you will finally look directly into my blazing eyes of love, and I will personally, gently wipe every single bitter, exhausted tear away from your face. On that glorious day, there will be absolutely no more crippling sickness, no more heartbreaking divorce, no more terrifying bills, and no more heavy, suffocating death. The profound, eternal weight of that coming glory makes all of today's frustrating, painful struggles look like a tiny, passing shadow. I command you to entirely reorder your daily priorities right now based on this massive, eternal reality. Do not fiercely hold on to the cheap, fading things of this world. Hold tightly and only onto me. Live this exact, current day so beautifully, so boldly, and so completely for my glory that if I were to suddenly return this very evening, I would simply find you faithfully, joyfully doing exactly what I deeply called you to do. As we reach the beautiful, quiet end of this profound, holy conversation, I know exactly what is happening in your mind. You are looking around your messy room, actively thinking about the heavy, frustrating tasks you absolutely have to do the minute you finish listening to these words. You have to step directly back into that highly stressful office, face that incredibly difficult family member, or deal with the terrifying doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. But I am not leaving you alone in this room. I firmly command you to actively receive my deep, heavy, unshakable peace right now as you physically move forward from this exact moment. I strongly invite you to go directly forth into your messy, chaotic day absolutely knowing, without a single shadow of a doubt, that I am actively walking with you always, holding your right hand tightly, even until the very end of the age. You are absolutely never going to fight a single battle on your own again. I now give you a massive, divine commission. You absolutely must take the bright, burning light you have just received in this quiet moment and intentionally, boldly share it with the desperate people sitting in complete, terrifying darkness around you. Do not selfishly hoard my deep comfort. When you see a coworker quietly crying, a friend deeply struggling with anxiety, or a stranger looking totally defeated, I command you to fiercely step in and be my literal, physical voice of hope to them. Let your actual, daily life become a beautiful, living sacrifice, completely holy and totally acceptable to me. The way you patiently love your spouse, the way you generously tip a waiter, the way you refuse to gossip, these are massive, loud declarations of my active presence in your life. You are my chosen ambassador, actively carrying the massive authority of heaven directly into the grocery store, the boardroom, and your own living room. I deeply want you to remember that the massive, heavy door of my unending grace remains completely and permanently open to you. When you inevitably stumble tomorrow, when you accidentally lose your temper, or when your faith suddenly falters, I firmly command you not to run away from me in dark, toxic shame. Come running directly back to me immediately. I am always waiting here, my arms thrown wide open, ready to wash you, reset you, and love you back to full strength. Hear my final, absolute, unbreakable declaration over your beautiful life today. I love you with a fierce, profound, and entirely everlasting love. Nothing you do can ever change that massive reality. I bless your mind with extreme clarity. I bless your body with rapid healing, and I bless your hands to prosper in everything they touch. Stand up tall now, my precious child. Take a deep, massive breath of fresh, holy air. Go forward boldly in my unmatched, miraculous strength, and aggressively change your world. As this sacred, 1-minute divine encounter comes to a beautiful close and you prepare to carry my fierce light into your chaotic day, I am giving you one final, massive commission. Your deep, burning desire to see this broken world miraculously healed is my spirit directly prompting you to actively fund the ultimate spread of this life-saving gospel. By generously giving to this channel, you forcefully transform your personal blessing into a roaring, unstoppable river of life that actively washes over the darkest corners of the earth, saving desperate souls from total destruction. I speak this living, breathing promise over you right now. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops, then your barns will be filled to overflowing. This is absolutely not a casual, human request. It is an urgent, prophetic appointment to forcefully push back the darkness before the clock runs out. As you fiercely release your seed into this highly fertile soil, I promise to miraculously expand your territory, aggressively protect your finances, and shower your daily life with unprecedented, jaw-dropping favor. Step directly into your divine assignment today. Act with absolute authority and support this kingdom mission right now by giving a super thanks, joining the membership, or using the PayPal link below. My precious child, you gave me this one fleeting minute, and in exchange, I am breathing a massive, miraculous breakthrough directly into the foundation of your life. Do not let this sacred encounter slip quietly away. I invite you to seal this divine moment by actively speaking your faith into the physical realm. Go right now and boldly declare in the comments, "I surrender my minute, and I receive my miracle." The very second you type those words, you are violently breaking the heavy chains of fear and stepping completely into my unshakable, eternal peace. Share this living word with someone who is currently wandering in the dark, and watch how I radically transform your quiet trust into a blazing, unstoppable fire today. Amen.